What's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all you fine folks out there at the old Anomalies Roundtable, I guess we can call it, right? What is going on? Let me get this thing straightened out here. Here. Let me see here. Oh, checking the audio here. It seems to be all right. Okay. Let's see. What's going on, Mimi? Good to see you in there. He said hello and good evening. What's going on, Corey? Good to see you in there. Phil C's in there. Great for all. What's going on? Kyron McCourt. It says London calling. Let's see. Mars Leaks. What's going on, Mars Leaks? Full Circle's in there. Says hello, everyone. Jason Bratoli. What's going on? Good to see you in there. And Habit Mars says, yay, I made it today. Good to see you in there, man. 321 Catbox. I think that's Washington, right? Hi, Chris. Hello, all. What's going on? Eric Bowers in there. What's going on, Eric? Third Eye Open. Good to see you in there. Pete Ferrero's in there. Ferrero. All right. Buffalo, New York here. Chris in chat. Peace. Bridge under siege. Oh, yeah. Nice. Kevin T says, don't worry, everyone. I made it. Henriette Boras. What is it? Barreau, rather? Hello from Denmark. What's going on? Good to see you in there. If I messed that, if I butchered your last name, just let me know. Jamie Haddock. What's going on? Hello. Happy Friday. What's going on, Jamie? Good to see you in there. Whitebeard Sky Daddy's in the house. What's going on, Whitebeard? Elaine Millard's in there. Hello, Chris and all. Hope you are all okay. I am well, Elaine. Let me, I forgot to put my mug in there. There we go. That should scare the hell out of everybody. Let's see. Well, we'll be back shortly, but we'll be listening in. Sweet. All right. I didn't think I was going to make it in here because it's like a busy weekend. It's like, good Lord, when you ever get a rest? Well, you know what happens. You work during the weekend, and what happens in the weekend? You know, if it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you know how that goes. Some people are winding down. Some people are just getting cranked up. What's going on, Cameron? Good to see you in there. Full Circle, what's happening? Hello from England. What's going on over there in England? Hope everything's doing okay. Daniel Lee's in there. What's going on, Daniel? Hi, good evening, Chris. Hope you're okay, Danny. From Danny. Jason Bratoli says, nice shirt. Yeah, it's not bad. I like it. You know, home planet. Oh, yeah. My bitch kind down, you handsome devil. Where? Somebody else walk in? Oh, might be talking about me. I don't know. Let me see. All right. It's just a wife coming back. It just told me somebody's in the driveway. All righty then. How is everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. You know, rather busy week. And, of course, Mother Nature's a little, you know. Right now, we actually hit just about 70 degrees today. Now, I know some of you folks are in Ohio, like I believe Kyle is. No, I think Kyle's here in WV. I'm not sure. But I know that some of you folks over there in Ohio where it's like this crazy weather going on. It was like it was peaking out at 24 miles an hour, the wind. It's at 67 degrees now. It's kind of precious, kind of steady, but it's showing rain, possible showers. And, of course, it's going to be complete, you know, mess this weekend. It's supposed to be rain. Sunday changing to snow. It's supposed to cool off. It's like, but you expect that. You know, we're going to start going into, you know, spring and stuff like that. So we look forward to it. It's kind of like wintertime where it goes, it's like nice and warm, cold, 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 then warm, then cold. And you know what I mean? Now it's doing just the opposite. It's cold, cold, and then it goes hot and then cold, hot, hot, and then cold. It's weird. Oh, yeah. Mags K, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Good evening, Chris, and Hangout. Gang, still checking out last vid, Chris. Full of goodies. Yeah, that one's crazy. It's the amount of things you see in that photo, and I don't even like show everything, right? You can get like some people say, Chris, you missed these things over here on the top of the hill. And like I said, I try to show like the biggest things, more obvious things first, right? And then I'll do a couple of the small things, and then, you know, I'll just say, well, they'll find the rest, and you have. You'll be like, dude, you missed this. And it's like, and that's fine. Maybe I do it purposely. This way here, it's free for all, everybody to find, right? Something to find. Because, you know, you can see the small pieces. I've shown little pieces in there and just weirdly shaped objects that, even if we were to dismiss, like what that butte looks like, it's a structure, but let's say it's not. Let's say it's a total hill, nothing else, but all the junk laying around it. There's no way that's you know, natural or normal. It's just, no. And from the things I've seen in there, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. They're literally just kind of just cruising through what's left of the city, you know, whether it's completely decimated or not, right? Oh, let's see. Mr. Limey Watcher, what's going on? Good to see you in there. I'm well. I hope you're doing good. Oops. And this thing loves to jump on me here. I hate it when it happens. Oh. Corey says, it's always a good day, Good Friday with Mars Anomalies Live. It's always a good day to have everybody here. You know, whether it's super long time or a short time we're here together. It's just awesome. Jimmy Wagoner, what's going on? First time, long time. How's everybody doing, Chris? Good shit, man. Well, I appreciate it, Jimmy. Hope you're doing well. Good to have you in there. Mimi Reactions, I hope there won't be another war. Russia is up to something. Well, it's always that secrecy thing. You ever notice that? It's like, I don't get worked up about it. You know, to me, it just seems like, you know, they'd be asking for, you know, like they always use the term waking the sleeping giant, right? A lot of people speculate that there's other countries are becoming more and more powerful, which they are. And I don't take nothing away from any other country. I don't care if it's Russia, China, I don't care. You know, they're, you know, progressing forward and everything else, whether for good or bad. And, you know, so aren't we. So I don't sweat that stuff. You know, I know if they're smart, they wouldn't go into Ukraine. I mean, you know, I think that would be bad for them all the way around. Rexy Husky Channel, what's going on? Are we near critical mass yet, Chris? It's a stressful, the drip. Disclosure is tiresome and yeah. Thanks for the research and videos. See, the way I look at it is this way, though. We already know that they've manipulated, censored, and done whatever they had to do to these photos to try to hide whatever they can. Excuse me. What I look forward to is what you can find in these photos, right? Just small bits and pieces of that puzzle. And that's what I love about doing these. Because you never know what you're going to find. Again, it could be, you know, again, the tiresome part, like I agree, it's like kind of like this mundane where you go, well, I mean, we know that they're hiding this stuff. Yeah, we're past that. So, which is good. What I love is, like I said, if you were to get a Cracker Jack box and you know there's something different every single time. In other words, you don't get the same thing. Oh, I've had this thing. You know, it's no big deal and you toss it aside. But what if every time you opened that box, there was something different every single time? You just don't know what you're going to find. And that's what makes it unique. Speaking of which, wait till you see the moon coming up. That's another cool one. So we'll be doing that. That's cool. And a lot more stuff. And got some more stuff coming up too. And I think you guys will be happy. Let's just say it's got to do with maybe you guys be able to chat during the week with each other. What could he be talking about? Huh. We'll wait until more people jump on here. Mr. Mike Knapp, what's going on? Hey. How's everybody in this awesome Friday? I'm doing good, Mike. I hope you're doing well. Good to have you in there, as always. And yeah, like I said, Rexy Husky, yeah, it's aggravating to a certain degree, but it's like, I don't know if anybody else feels this, right? On one side, you're frustrated because you'd love to see the whole thing, right? The whole photo, nothing censored. I agree. And this is since I've been doing these. But like I said, does anybody feel it like it's starting to like pick up speed as far as disclosure? And there's some other weird stuff going on too. I don't know if you guys have, you know, listened to any of the space news lately, but really bizarre stuff. Not really off the deep end kind of bizarre, but coincidental perhaps, you know, but we'll get into that too shortly. What I find interesting is, like I said, it seems like it appears to be picking up speed. Like every time you see something that's like a little bit more UFO stuff, we're finding more and more stuff in here. We're finding more stuff in these Martian photos. Because keep in mind this, I love the moon photos. They're awesome. And there's tons of these things to do. So we have plenty of things to go through as far as that goes. Mars is the same way. You can actually go through, you know, you got to remember you got a little bit of ingenuity, you've got the helicopter itself, you got Perseverance, you've got Curiosity rover, and you can still go back to Spirit and Opportunity. Because not everybody's done every single photo, although I've done a crap load of those, but there's always something to find. And they're going into checking out other moons, there's other news as far as wanting to go there, and do other stuff as well, right? So there's always something going on, like the James Webb. They just put out their first photo. As far as the first photo, it's kind of like doing the alignment thing, right? So I would imagine it's got to do with the mirrors actually adjusting themselves to get a perfect focal point. So once they do, it'll be like crisp photos. It'll probably, if I'm not mistaken, it'll probably make the Hubble look like a piece of trash. Although the Hubble takes fantastic photos. Picture what this thing can do once it adds all the light spectrums together, because they'll just stack them. And of course, you'll get this beautiful mosaic of whatever they're going to show us, whether it be, far off galaxies, which although some scientists believe that there's multi-universes, so they're waiting to see that. They're saying, well, if we can go out, okay, here's the limit. Here's all the planets and everything in the universe. Wait a minute, it doesn't just stop there. It continues on to another universe. I don't think it stops, guys, to be truthful with you. It's something that our brains just can't comprehend. Like I said before, as an analogy, if you were to get up out of your room right now and just walk straight, don't try to go through doorways or nothing. You're bound to hit something. You're going to run into something, right? So you know that there's limitations in your mind. But like I said, what if we could play like Superman, fly outside there, keep going out into space, and just keep going to the very last planet that literally the Big Bang, supposedly, right? It exploded, and you get the very most outer planets and galaxies and everything else. You got them out. But if you could fly past that, picture just keep going. The blackness of space. There is no end. There is no limitations. Unless, of course, you hit another planet or another body. But yeah, there's nothing to stop you. It goes on. Can you just close your eyes and imagine there's no end to it? It doesn't stop. That's insane. Because you're so used to, like I said, limitations, right? Oops. What's going on there, Simo? Good to see you there. Say good evening, all. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. Oh, it's already getting warmer over there, huh, Jason? You said I'm in Arizona. I use my car's air conditioner today. It's going to start getting warmer. Believe that. Oops. Max K said Scotland had high winds, rain, sleet, and then a beautiful day today. Yeah, it's weird, right? It's like I said, we're still at 67 degrees here, Fahrenheit, of course. And it's comfortable. I went out there, walked a couple times. I said, man, this is beautiful. But like I said, you're like, felt like Superman because it was like 25-mile-an-hour gust, which is not super windy, but that, you feel it. It'll definitely knock you around a little bit. So I go, that's weird. Like, here's a perfect example. The dew point's supposed to be 25 tonight. So just about 70 degrees down to 25. So, and it's always a little cooler here in the valley because we live out in the country. We don't live out in the cities itself. But, we're probably 30 minutes away from a city. So, from either direction where I'm at. So, it's nice because it's a lot quieter. But when it gets cold, it gets cold. But when it gets hot, you see you're sitting here watching the Weather Channel going, yeah, it's going to be 89 degrees today. I go, buddy, it's 96 here. But see, we don't have a bunch of shade from buildings. We don't have, it's just wide open, right? So, yeah. We have got a bunch of mountains around us, but still, it's not like cities where you have a bunch of very tall buildings and stuff. Corey, you said we need summer back in England. I'm pale as... I hear that, man. Give us that vitamin D. Pete Ferrero, Elon lost 40 of... I seen that. Recently launched 49 Starlink because of sudden emitting burst. Yes. It's almost like mini EMPs, right? It's like just burning these things up. And I still don't get it why nobody, and they had to have known this, but they're saying that these people who are, whether it be, professional, astronomers, things like that, they're going, oh, these things are going to be right in our way. What did you think was going to happen? These things are literally depending on where they're at, if they're next to the equatorial region, rather, I'm sorry, if they're there, what did you expect to happen? I think they're just going to turn invisible because you want to look out towards the stars? It doesn't work that way. So I thought that was pretty wild, right? You know, and the fact that they got burnt up that easy, that's not good. Mike Knapp says, Corey, cold as ice. Yeah, you got that right. Mars the Second Genesis says, hi, Chris. I hope you are well. I'm doing good, man. I hope you're doing good. I hope you are doing well. Nice case said, crazy structures, Chris. Definitely not like what we would build. No, and it's just, it's kind of like the moon, right? If you look at the moon stuff and you look at the Martian stuff, it's like they really, really utilized their surroundings and their earth, meaning ground. So, or terra, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But, you know, they used, it's not like, you know, we built into, well, we have, but there's some, like there's a house over here, they literally built into this hillside, right? All you see is the front of it, just the face of the house. Really weird, pretty cool. It's pretty funny when you see him out there mowing his roof. He's literally, he's got grass up there and everything else. Really cool idea, right? But they literally look like they utilize the surroundings or into mountains and hills, or they made it like a camouflage to hide themselves from perhaps other beings. I don't know. But even if we would dismiss that idea, meaning they're building or they're making their structures look like buildings, regardless of that, just a junk laying all over the place tells me there's a civilization up there, and they're literally just roving right through it all. I mean, there it is. And like I said, you just don't know what you're going to find in these photos. That's what I love about them. That's what keeps me interested in you. Just don't know what you're going to find. Rexyowski's channel says Florida is sunny. Yeah, but aren't they like, they were like 60s and low 70s? My daughter lives down there in Punta Gorda. And, you know, it's funny when you hear her say, oh my God, it's like 42. It's like 42. It's like, I'd be running around in shorts with 42 degrees. What are you kidding? You know, it's like us. It's like it's been 20s, 30s. And like I said, today it's like just about hit. It was like 69, 70 degrees. I was like, okay. We can handle that. Martin Lucas, what's going on? He said, hey guys and girls, how is everyone? I'm doing good. I think everybody else is doing pretty well in here. Martin, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, some people haven't seen the sun so damn long they forgot what it looks like. Yeah, it's a big fiery ball in the middle of our solar system right there, but yeah, haven't seen it. We've seen sun, but it's been really kind of cold here. Not super cold, but, you know, not too bad. What's going on, Nick Mad? Good to see you in there. Says, hello, Chris. Equalizer, what's happening? He said, good evening, Chris. Good evening, fellow anomalies. Anomaly hunters, right? Anomaly archaeologist. Yeah, I see what you were saying in Max cases. You're talking to Corey, he says, so we can turn heating down. Well, the funny thing about it is, I don't know about around the world, but, I mean, the electric company has just given it to you. I mean, it's one thing for, you know, have a heating bill. Everybody knows in the wintertime, if you're fully electric, like my house is, it's crazy. I mean, you know, of course, I have electric car. I've got, you know, everybody has washer and dryer, all that stuff. And, you know, like I said, in the workout room, if I can't go outside, I'm either on the treadmill or doing something in there. So obviously that uses electricity. And, but I've compared my bill to some of my friends are like, I said, mine's about where yours is at. They go, well, yeah, I know, but I'm never home. I went, oh, that's bad. I said, because this is what I do. This, and they go, wow, that's pretty damn good. I said, well, yeah, you know, just learn how to trim your bills down. And it's a little easier for you. What's going on there, Mr. Daniel Webster? He said, in a way, I'm surprised disclosure hasn't already happened. And in another sense, I'll be surprised if it happens in my lifetime. Yeah, I think we're just going to get this slow, but I think it's literally picking up speed. Now, is it going to be anything definitive within next month? No. Um, the good thing about it is we get to, it's working up to it. It's like they're saying, you know, we'll give it out to them slowly, again, desensitize them, and then, you know, it'll come out. The good thing about it is not just my channel, but other people's channels who are like hardcore on this stuff. They're finding this stuff. So not only are you getting the disclosure from, if you want to call it really quicker disclosure, which it's not, but between the Pentagon and some of these other people that are trying to get this information out, or it seems like they're trying to get this information out, between that, what I do and other people do, it helps because you're getting it from all ends, right? You're getting little bits and pieces. But like I said, folks, and you know as well as I do, if I was to die tomorrow, okay, God forbid, if I should die tomorrow, I know for a fact that we're not alone. We've never been alone. So I know that for a fact in my mind, judging by all the stuff we've been seeing, everything we've been bombarded with, everything we've been seeing in these photos, so on and so forth. So there's no doubt in my mind. There really is not. And, you know, so I've gotten my answer. What I like is the different details we're getting out of these pictures and everything else. So it kind of reinforces what you already know, right? And that's what I love about that. Rexy Husky channel, he said they know if the moon goes, so goes their credibility in future. Yes, it's bound to out the truth by 2025 when we return and they see what's there in low orbit. Yeah. Like I said, it's going to have to be somebody who takes a snapshot and says, you know, they're not supposed to do it, but they take a snapshot anyway, and they actually real proof. Like, let's say they start doing those trips, like, you know, you get like that one-way trip. It just goes around, comes around the moon, and then back to Earth. Okay, that just cost you $100,000, whatever it cost you, you know, but you happen to go and take a picture of something that people should not see. What is that worth? And the fact that the more and more we become spacefaring, we get out there and get space, the more and more it's going to slip. It's going to come out. There's no doubt in my mind. And Elon's really trying to press it. He's trying to do it from, like you said, I think it's 2025. He wants to jump that instead of the 2031. So I love the idea of that. I mean, you know, I'd love to see that that happen, you know. But, you know, as technology progresses, it just speeds up everything. All the timelines seem to be sped up. Unless, of course, something happens, like an incident happens where, you know, they're set back some. You know, like if you have a launch and something explodes on the pad and you can't figure out what it is. And kind of like our incident way back in the day, what was it, Endeavor, that had that explosion and set us back what? We just shut everything down. That was it. And rightfully so. You know, these people paid paid with their lives with this mission, on this mission. Didn't even, just barely got off the launch pad, and, you know, that was the end of that. So, you know, so you get set back. Now, they'll tell you that, well, with scientific, you know, experiments and everything else, there's always going to be losses. I know, nobody wants to hear that, though. And I don't like to hear it. But the thing is, as you progress, you're going to have these failures, but then you're going to, you know, you'll get like one step back, but then you can jump, you know, forward 2 or 3 steps in this case, because you learn from your mistakes and then you reinforce or make that that part, whatever, you know, gave way, you make it more robust. So less chance of it going bad again. So you learn from your mistakes. Unfortunately, people actually pay the price. That's the sucky part about it. Mr. Kyle Harvey, thank you for... hold on. I'm just trying to see what it said, and it jumped up on me. It said, good evening, guys. Much love. Kyle, good to see you in there, man. And thank you very much for your support, as always. He started off the rally. Always a supporter of the channel. You guys are awesome. Arts and Crafts, what's going on? He said, hello, all. Good to see you in the Arts and Crafts. Our Lion says this, the cigar-shaped objects are very ancient. Yeah, a lot of those you can... what was it, a clip that somebody had showed recently? Was it on... if you guys are on Facebook, maybe you've seen it there. Somebody had put on there, I don't know if it was back in the 20s or the 40s, where they had this large cigar-shaped craft or something like that over a section of land, and somebody had taken that photo. And of course, this goes way back, right? Like we were talking about. In fact, if you remember the Soviet Union back in the day, you can call it Soviet Union or in Russia, whatever, call it what you will. But remember when they sent the Phobos, spacecraft to Phobos to actually orbit it and everything else, and one of them just kept going. And so you had 1 and 2, and I believe it was the second one where it was orbiting, and then its last photo showed what looked like a cigar-shaped shadow, and never heard a word from the spacecraft again. Now, is that just coincidental? Is it something they made up and kind of like, we'll just put that in the picture? Or is it actually real? I don't see any reason for it not to be. That doesn't mean it isn't. So I found that really interesting when I heard about that years ago. And really interesting. It's almost like they said, you're not looking over here. So, we'll just make that inoperable for you, which sucks. But, there's not much you can do about that, right? Linda Borum, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Mr. Pat Owens is in there as well. Mr. John Sharp is in here as well. Thank you very much, sir, for your support as well. Another supporter of the channel. You guys are always supporting the channel. You guys know that. You guys are awesome. That is awesome. Stephen Porter's in the house. Good evening, Chris and all. John Sharp says, need a beer. Oh, yeah. Chris, have an English cup of tea. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm having a little root beer right now, but But ain't no doubt about that. That'd be good right about now. No doubt about that. Again, guys, I appreciate your support. You guys are awesome. Oh, okay. Archer Krause says, hey, Chris, I hope you are well, and you are very appreciated. Well, thank you, Archer Krause. I do appreciate you, too. And much love to you, right? Let me see, how many we got in there so far? 83? Like I said, I'm going to make a small announcement. It's nothing too much, but I think you guys will like it. It's pretty cool. Let me see. Our Alliance says the glass domes and walls on the moon were present well before the moon was put into place. Yeah, I mean, I've heard stories about that too, where these things were actually there. And, people say it was more like a arc, if you will, that came from somewhere else in the galaxy or wherever. And, of course, we were brought here with that. And some people, I just read this little story about how they said that there was moisture on the moon, and that moon actually is what started some of the water on this planet or whatever. I said, okay, I get the idea of some of the moisture, but we're not going to put oceans, 70% of the oceans on this planet from the moon. I mean, unless there's a giant water tank. I mean, but you know what I'm saying. I'm putting it in a kind of funny, silly way. But I don't see that. But now, has anybody seen Moonfall yet? Good movie. I sat here and watched it the other day. In fact, I think it was over the weekend. It was over the last weekend we watched it. And really, really cool. Really good. It's everything that everybody's claimed about the moon so far. Being hollow. Basically, they're saying it's like a Dyson sphere. Basically built around a star. That, it's basically getting energy from that star. So they harness it. And it's actually in the center of this moon and stuff like that. But really, really good. And it's got a nice twist near the end, too, which is really goofy as hell. I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, what? And if anybody's seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying not to give it away in case people try to, they want to watch it themselves. So. Mimi React says, NASA wants to send a probe to Oumuamua. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, why? It's just a simple rock just passing through space, right? And that's because, what's his name? Was it Loeb? Where that scientist, I think he's an astrophysicist, saying that was some kind of craft. He said, no, there's no way. It had no tail on there, no moisture. When it went around the sun, usually they give off some kind of a tail because of like ice melting, and of course you get that vapor kind of coming off the back of it. There was no tail end to that thing. It had no tail whatsoever, and so they're really thinking that it was something more than just a rock just passing through our solar system, right? So, yeah. Daniel Jackson says, great channel. Thank you from the UK. Well, I appreciate it, Daniel. Thank you very much. Daniel Jackson. It sounds like, what's his name there from Stargate? First thing I thought of when I read your name. Oop, it jumped on me. Yeah, Mimi says, please no spoiler. Yeah, that's why I wasn't going to give it away. Andrew Cole, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Good to have you in there, man. John McDonald says, New Zealand. He says, hi to Chris and all supporters. What is it? Oh, you're just, oh, okay. You're already in the morning. So what, 12:30 for you right now? JD says, cheers all. How's it going? UK here. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing good over there in the UK. Always like to see my brothers and sisters from the other side of the pond there, jumping in there. That's awesome. Don't worry, Mike, we'll be here. I see you just say you're talking to Pat. I got to take my daughter out a minute also. Be back soon. Got to do what you got to do, brother. Long Island, New York, $13.95. Thank you very much for your support. Oh, what's that, a new thing? Support, sir. Thank you. Much love from Long Island, New York. You guys warm up there, too? It should be pretty nice up there for you, too, as well, right? Because, like I said, I know, like a lot of my friends up there in the Northeast where I was, born and raised, it literally, we usually get the weather a day ahead of them, unless, of course, it's some kind of quick moving front, but it's usually a day after. So, like I said, right now we're still at 67 degrees, so yeah, it's pretty comfortable. Definitely a change up from really cold weather, but it's coming back. Like I said, tomorrow's supposed to rain, I think, in the afternoon, and then change over to snow on Sunday. I went, of course it is. Another potential storm, I think, for the Northeast. I'm glad I don't live there anymore. Andrew Cole says, hi, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I'm on a day 6 of a bad dose of COVID. It's nasty stuff, folks. And I'm double vaxxed, too. Yeah, I know. I hope you pull through it, man. I really do. Like I said, I still have, like, a little bit long-lasting, got that long-lasting, they call it the long COVID type thing. Still a little bit there. I know people, I've done some, research on what other people were saying. Like you, they had the double shot, and then, of course, they had the booster, blah, 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 blah. And they got it bad. And like I said, I went through it myself. I had it pretty bad, too. And it's like they were saying they have to, like, learn how to breathe all over again, which is really weird. And they're not lying, because it's almost like you're going, do I have to control the way I inhale? And you don't have to, obviously, but it just has that weird feeling like you almost got to train yourself how to do that again. So what I do is I just, like I said, I'm jogging and stuff, like doing cardio and stuff, and not going overboard, just taking it easy, but getting back into rhythm like it's supposed to be, and it seems to be doing okay. Now, some people go, oh, yeah, it's, I hear people, I used to be able to jog, I can't even do that anymore, I have to sit on the couch, and as soon as I get up, they can't do anything. They're literally, and this is lasting so long, that it's not just that. There's a lot of people who are having issues, and of course they never claim that. I'm glad that you actually said that, Indrid, because you always hear the news. Oh well, it's up, and the count's up in the hospital, and because it's the unvaccinated. Bull, and more bull. You, like a lot of other people, have said that and said, listen, I had the double jab. I also had the booster. Still got it. Some people say I've gotten it real bad after that, and what's the deal? You know what I mean? It makes you wonder. You go, okay, so the promise was if I got one shot, I'd be good to go. Well, wait a minute. Now you got to get two shots. Okay, I'll get the other one. No big deal. Well, now you need a booster. And you get the booster because you think, by your doctor and what everybody's telling you. Oh, by the way, you may need a fourth one. People are going, I've had enough. I'm done. People said, listen, I've had the 2. I've had the booster. I'm not taking another one. And like I said, I'm not going to lie to you folks. Listen, in the UK, they were saying that they had found out that the more of these boosters you get, it will compromise your immune system. Look this stuff up. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your rear ends. I've read this. The states here won't tell you jack. They won't tell you anything. They'll be like, yeah, just keep getting the booster. You'll be all right. Don't worry about that cancer and all that other shit you get later in life. They don't care because it knocks the population down. You won't know it. you'll get the shots thinking, hey, I'm good to go. Now, you know, and then all of a sudden they said cancer's on the uptick, HIV's on the uptick, people getting all kinds of other just autoimmune, just having problems. All of a sudden the immune system's not kicking in and not working anymore. What do you do? So they just go, it wasn't because of us. That's basically what they'll do. They'll throw their hands up in the air. And you can say it all you want and say, oh no, it's your fault. Doesn't matter. You know why? Because when you decided to take that shot, your rights were gone. You can't sue them. You can't do any of that. So, yeah. But hey, if you can't get bent over by your government, who can you get bent over from, right? It's aggravating. It really is. But I really do hope you do well, Hendred. I hope you pull out of that. And take some zinc. You need it for your immune system. Trust me when I tell you. And then go out and get Quercetin. They call it Quercetin, Certin, and you know, vitamin C. Take those together. And of course the zinc you can take in the morning. But it'll support your immune system, and you can basically whip its ass. It'll just shorten the time that you have it. And keep an eye on your breathing and stuff like that. You definitely want to keep an eye on that. Trust me, been through it. Joe Olivia says, triangular craft in USSF, rather, named TR-3B, had Space Force since 1985, also have cylinder-shaped craft that holds 199 people. Know for a fact. Sweet. Be cool if you had some more information about that. That's neat. Yeah, I mean, because let's be honest, right? Star Wars project started in the 80s. Now it's the Space Force. I think they just decided to put a new label on it. So when it does finally come out and say, yeah, we actually have this now. Now it's full-blown and full-fledged. Now they just go, well, yeah, we got it all together now. We just, you know, Space Force, we immediately got it together. Now it's out in space. Bull. It's been out there since the 80s. This has been going on. I remember back in the day where they were talking about, like I told you guys, they were thinking, can we put warheads on these satellites? Lasers? I mean, they were coming out with just everything you could possibly think of. Now, it would not surprise me if they had a large enough, maybe several satellites out there to just emit EMPs. Of course, they'd have to be pretty powerful. But if you put them in an array kind of thing, who knows, right? Who the hell knows? It's no longer going to be nuclear war anymore. It's not going to be, I mean, you'll have regular bombing and stuff, but as far as nuclear wars, nah, it's going to be done in a high-tech level. And like I said, if you think about it, if you could cripple a country that way, wouldn't you do it without taking lives? Nah, just cripple them from inside. They got no way to defend themselves because you basically shut them down. So what now? You know, obviously the military is going to beef up this stuff so EMPs don't bother them. But as far as everyday lives like you and I, you wouldn't have anything. Be completely shut down. That's where the pure and crazy pandemonium kicks in, right? Everybody just goes, you know, loses it. Daniel Webster said the oldest photograph of a purported UFO is 1880s, and it is a car. Yep. I've seen real old photos of that. Now, are they newer ones made to look old and have been CGI'd? With today's, the way you can make that stuff, who knows, right? Now, I believe, because I've seen some photos, that this takes place long before anything of that, like Photoshop and everything else. It was way out since then, way before then. And so you can't, you know, can't help but to believe that it is true, right? It's pretty much fact. Mike Knapp says, Chris, I'll be back in a half hour. See y'all soon. All right, Mike. Do what you got to do. Let me just jump down here because it's going to jump on me anyway. Mars the Second Genesis, he said all vaccines have graphene oxide in them, and I have researched all of this for the last 3 months rather. Yeah. Yep. Samo says up your zinc supplement. Yep. Exactly. And Unwoke says Chris. Hey Chris, check Michael Sala's exopolitics.org site. I don't know why they hid that, but I'm going to go ahead and okay that so people can see it. Sean Taylor, he said, I got lucky, natural immunity. Unless you're asymptomatic, I wouldn't be too brazen. Like I said, I know people, in fact, here's a perfect example, the guy that I work with. He's been around everybody. His family's had it. Nope. He says, I don't have it. I'm good. And he works in a supermarket, works in a big supermarket like I do. Absolutely crazy amounts of people, right? Everybody's getting it. Cashiers, people over there, they're all getting it. He just had it 2 weeks ago. And he said it whooped his ass. So, and I said, be careful, because whether it's COVID itself, or it's Omicron, or what the hell is now, is it distant cousin or some BS, it doesn't matter. They said at some point, everybody's going to get it. And what they're saying is, like I said, when they first started out, and this was in the UK, by the way, they said, well, what we need to do is give everybody the shot so we can get herd immunity. And that's why everybody was pressing so hard for everybody to get this shot. Well, now just recently, within a month and a half ago, they're saying, now the UK is saying, no, from our research, we think everybody should get it, meaning the actual, what do you call it, getting the, whether it be Omicron or, what do you call it, COVID. They said, no, let everybody get it so we can get herd immunity. So they've changed it. And I don't mean in a bad way. I'm not dogging them. That was what they had. What they had then, their research, they said it's better just get the shot and everybody can have herd immunity. Now they're just realizing it's futile, it's stupid. Let everybody get the COVID. They'll get over it. You'll either get help by the hospital or you'll just get over it. You'll get it. You'll feel like crap for about 4 to 5 days, and then you'll be fine. My son had it again, COVID, 2.5 weeks ago. All right, had it, and the first time he had COVID was SARS. He had a little bit of a cold and cough, had it for like 4 days of a fever, gone. It kind of drifted away, and that was the end of it. We just had it again, only had a fever 1 day. Again, his body's building up this immunity. That's what your system's made for. So the more you get it attacked, the more it builds immunity. So, yeah. Not this, hey, let me put a Band-Aid on you and hope that works kind of thing. Again, gives people false hope and security. And I think that's garbage. Now, I'm not saying that nobody should get the shot. And I've always said this. Don't go by what I say. If you feel you need to get it because your loved ones are older, or there's a chance you could have something majorly wrong with you, maybe you have already some kind of a heart disease, or you're taking some other medication, you should absolutely get it if you need to. I'm not here to scare anybody. I'm just saying I haven't gotten the shot, and I got COVID. So, and then I got over it. And now, again, you still get these little long-lasting COVID effects. You can deal, right? So, some people are not so, well off. But the thing is, you can hurdle it. But if you feel that you should, don't let anybody stop you. That's for sure. You should run out and get it. And Nicole, thank you very much for your support. I do appreciate it. And you said, thanks for the kind words, Chris. Well, not a problem. I mean, we're all human here, right? And I know what I went through, and my wife and my son actually went, but they had very mild cases. Now, I figured it out where, if you have, well, this is what I figured out too. Doing some research, they said, this is where it gets crazy. Like we were talking about the zinc earlier, right? Listen carefully. If you take a blood pressure medication like, lisinopril, it literally depletes zinc in your body. Now, zinc is a huge player in your immune system. I bet your doctor didn't tell you that. Now, what's funny about this is as you get older, the zinc level starts to drop anyway. So you should take a supplement. But if you take in any kind of blood pressure medication, you may want to look into that. So now it further drops your immune system, and you're more apt to get it. That's why they say if you have pre-existing problems, you're in worse shape, or more susceptible of getting it and being more severe. There's one of the reasons why. We're Graham. What's going on, man? Thank you very much, sir, for your support as well. You guys are awesome. He said, come on, subs, send Chris what you can because it cost him a lot to do what he does for us. Thanks, all. And Rick, you're right. I mean, but like I said, any support is good support. And I love everybody for it. And it takes time. This one I just did, you'll love this. This is another sends it out, washed out, moon photo, and you wouldn't believe the time that it takes to literally go through this photo and bring out the stuff the best as you can. It's crazy how much time. Nothing. It's on the average 5 to 6 hours, at least. So I had one guy tell me, this was years ago, of course, but he goes, you know, you see all these channels out there asking for money? No, first of all, nobody's asking for money, but that's not me. But the thing is, they say, oh, well, these guys are getting money. It's like, do you think it takes 10 minutes to like find a photo and just presto, it's uploaded? I mean, I don't get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I put a lot of time into these things. It's like a lot of people do. Mars the Second Genesis, he knows. You know, you can put some serious time into these videos. You know, Jean, he puts a lot of work into it. You know, anybody who does these photos, they know. It takes time. So I appreciate you guys with your support. I really do. Lisa Potter said, clot shot equals deep pop shot. Yeah. Well, here's the weird thing, Lisa. You know, and if you've done any research, you know what I'm talking about. They say if you get COVID, you can literally get blood clots. And people have gotten them. That's just COVID. That's not even the vax. You go, okay, so I'm doomed either way, right? No, that's not true. If you have this idea that you're getting it, or you know you've gotten it, let's say you just started getting the sniffles and started feeling crazy, right? And you go get checked out and they say, by the way, you definitely have SARS. You go, oh, okay. Take yourself an aspirin. Yeah, you may want to do that because you will. That's what was happening to one girl who was, and I think I told you about this, where she had very healthy, and I think this is on the news too. She was actually, oh God, what was she? She was becoming a model. And her father said, very healthy. She was in like mid-20s, 25, 24. Doing fine. Everything was great. Caught COVID. Little mini blood clots. Got into her legs. They got to cut her legs off now. And I'm going, what? And then what you do is get these little micro blood clots that go into your lungs, could shut your lungs down, into your liver, shut your liver down. So if you think you're getting this, you may want to have basically an aspirin, like a blood thinner, to stop this from happening. Or if you plan on getting the jab, make sure you start taking aspirins like 2 weeks prior to that, so it can bring that down, so less chance of that happening. Because people said, I got the damn the vaccine, people got blood clots now. You can't win, but you can, you know. You definitely can win, or at least, you know, put up a good fight, and then we'll still win. Terry Kelling, thank you very much for your support, sir. I do appreciate you. You said, wow, can't speak English today. That was backwards, by the way. Got to support the best channel on YouTube. I do appreciate it, Terry. That's awesome. And Alfie Joe Bob, as you as well, thank you very much for your support. I do appreciate you guys. You know, we do our best here. I mean, you know, I'd like to be putting out more of these, but you know how it goes. You got like this much time during the day. So you do your best to get these out because I love doing this stuff. Like I said, it's just, again, for me, it's just like, I don't know what I'm going to find. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going. And of course, you guys are here because you're doing the same thing. What is he going to find today? What's he going to reveal tomorrow? We just don't know. We have no idea. I'm trying to go back and forth because I know a lot of you guys love Mars and you love the moon. Now, if you guys want to do a little vote here, you can tell me what you'd rather see more of, and we'll go with that. I want to give you what you want. So I try to do a balance of both because we see a bunch of stuff on the moon and we see a bunch of stuff on Mars. So I kind of want to do a balance of both, but you know, I'd like to hear from you guys as well, right? So again, folks, much love to you all for helping me out here and supporting the channel as always. Long Island, New York, thank you very much for your support as well. That's awesome. Let's make today a big donation day. More Ganymede. There you go. Ganymede's actually, that's, like I said, the one I'd done about Ganymede a while back. That's one of the things I never knew in a million years that I would find. And like I said, if you watch that video I did about that, I wouldn't say it went super viral on it, but I think at the time, last time I looked at it, it was like 375,000 views. It's not really viral, right? But the cool thing about it is, all it took was one little detail where it looked like it was coming down, and then it went down into the surface. I went, but that looks more like 3D if you were to enhance this photo. Sure in heck, as I started doing it, everything looked like it was like layered, and you could see like depth into certain areas of that moon, and you could see what looked like domes from above, just crazy things. what look like roadways and all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, again, we can't vet any of it. All we can do is go by what we're seeing in the photo, right? And I think it was just really awesome. I was like, wow, I was blown away by the stuff I was seeing. The more, it's funny because if anybody who does this, you know what I'm talking about. You're sitting there going like, well, just enhance this a little, oh my God, and then you start going crazy, like, this is awesome. So, but you want to take your time to get this stuff out. That's the whole point, right? Because it's not worth anything if you can't make out what it is. Now, some of these photos, to be truthful, they're very vague. We'd love to see everything crystal clear, absolutely crystal clear. We'd love to. But if you already have some kind of layer of centering over it, it's hard to do that. Like the last moon one I did. You can see where they've done it. It's not really clear. You go over to the other area where it's not quite as like censored out or manipulated, you could see the stuff a little bit better. And I proved that. Where all that stuff was and it didn't look too clear, where was that whiteness put over that area? So yeah. Samo says, we are winning this battle. Edge dropping. Oh yeah. It's getting there. Kyle Harvey, thank you again, sir, for your support as always. He said, I'm loving the moon videos. How about you guys? Because we actually have better photos to analyze of the moon than we do of Mars. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, I guess in a sense, because there's a lot of these to go through. Keep in mind we have, I don't know, Spirit's not all that great as far as quality of photos, but Spirit was pretty decent. Curiosity. You know, now we got Perseverance, Ingenuity. We had some of the Insight, lander. So there's still a lot of these photos to go through. You know, you'd be surprised what you find in them. What looks like something mundane, friggin' rocks in the background turn out to be something totally different. And that's what I love about doing these, because I'm going, oh, what do I find in today? And sometimes I'll be looking at it going, this is crap. And then sometimes, oh, wow, and stuff just pops out, right? So it's cool. So far, Kyle says more moon. What do you guys think? By Jamie Hillier, Arubis, it says, what the F? Clots from the vax, unless it's weaponized version of course. What is this? I'd love to support you, but the clot source is serious. Well, yeah, because what they're saying is, again, you don't even have to have the vax. It's from this freaking virus. You know, and I haven't had this. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm reading and I'm researching, that's what I'm finding. So I'm going, okay, so if you don't get the shot and you get COVID, you could get these mini blood clots. They're like micro. And then if you get the shot, some people said that they've gotten it that way. I went, good God, you can't win. So, you know, it's all about trying to figure out what's going on. You're just like, you know, it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So what do you do? So the only thing you can do, like I said, build up your zinc, get your immune system strong, especially if you're on blood thinners or any of that sort, because it will, and like I said, at least on the lisinopril type of stuff, it will actually literally drop the zinc levels in your body too as well. And you can look this stuff up. It's right there on the internet. And so I was like researching a bunch of this stuff, and this is the reason why I say anything pre-existing, there's a good chance you're going to get hit with it hard or have more complications, and that would make sense, right? Mars Leaks, thank you very, very much for your support as well. I do appreciate you. You said you sent me an email today, latest photo on JPL. Maybe you can put it up and we can all check it together. Let me see. I don't know. Let me see if I can find this here. I haven't even checked this, to be truthful with you guys. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I checked it yesterday. I don't know when you send it to me. Oops. I hate it when that happens. Let's try this. Oops. All right. Oh, let's have a look, yes. Not sure why I'm getting that, but okay, let's see. I see it right here, Mars Leaks. Let's have a... Let's see what they got here. Oh, this is from a peer. Okay. Peer 25046. I believe that's the one you're talking about, right? And again, I do appreciate your support. Thank you. We're going to have a look at this thing if it'll load. There's something about their servers. I don't know what it is. It's just weird. You know, it's like sometimes you can just jump right on it and it's ready to rock. And then sometimes, like right now, here's a perfect example. The site keeps closing on me. Why that is, I have no idea. It literally, let me see here. We'll just take the thing anyway. We'll just grab it. Oops. All right. Let's see. All right. So we'll download that. No V8, so tonight. What's that, John? What do you mean? No V8, so tonight. Renee V, what's going on? Flux capacitor, 72 monies in there as well. Moon and Mars, Earth, same neighborhood. Love Mars mysteries the most, but love the variety. Antarctica needs to be revealed something that can't be hidden to speed up the disclosure too. Yeah, I still have a bunch of those, and I shouldn't say a bunch. That's lying to you. I have at least probably 2 or 3 of those now. Julie's been really busy. She's had changes in her life where new job opportunities and stuff like that. So she's been really, really busy. I don't know if she'll pop in here tonight, but I wanted to thank her for her support as well. She's always been, right there for me and everything else, like with our best friend Sarah at the time. Now she's left us, but she's always been a key component, especially for these Antarctica things. But now she's changed gears in her life where she's doing other things too. So it's like kind of like she's not on top of it, meaning because she's got other things to do, and it makes sense. So and she's told me she's been, everything's been getting better for her and everything else, and newer jobs, new opportunities, and I think that's awesome. First and foremost, get your life, make that bank. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Because here's the thing. Without money, you know what happens there. So, take care of first things first, personal life, and then you can do this here. Awesome. I think this is what I love. Anytime you do this stuff, this is the way I look at it. I'm more than happy to support the channels that I watch, and I'll tell you why. I can watch Netflix, I can watch Hulu, I can watch all of these, and paying big money to do what? You can almost, here's a perfect example. I know you guys got satellite or cable, whatever it is you got. You watch, like, let's say you got the package, the movie package. You've got, HBO Max. You've got all of these, movie channels and everything else. It's the same BS all the time. All the time. You might get a new movie out maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, and you're happy, you're good. But can you justify what you spend on it? This is the reason why I don't have it anymore. I just stream from my Android box. I've got 2 of the NVIDIA Shields, and I love it. Got the movie app, got everything, and I'm good to go. I don't worry about it. So I can watch what's in the movie theaters right now, or anything I wanted to search, and it's right there. So I don't bother spending the money. It's just ridiculous. I can't justify that kind of money on cable or satellite. I've had it before, and it's kind of like you're going, man, it's the same crap every damn week. Oh, wait a minute. We got a whole movie that just came out, a whole new one. So would I want to do that, or would I rather spend it on something I enjoy? Like stuff like this. Like I watch anything to do with space stuff. I watched, drag strips and, drag racing, watch stuff like that. I support those channels because guess what? I cannot find it on TV. And it's well worth me paying for that than it is boring stuff that I'm going to see over and over again. Where I would rather invest in something that I enjoy watching. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's hot rods, babes on the beach. I don't care what it is. I mean, whatever it is you want to watch, you support the channel because it's something you don't get to see on TV. Again, it's always something different. And that's what I love about it. That's why I love content, whatever it may be. That it's like you guys. You have different likes. It might be like I got a friend of mine. She loves. She's a beekeeper, and so she watches a lot of things to do with beekeeping. And there's a couple people that she supports because it's not something she gets to see all the time. So it's in her best interest. I'd rather spend it on this than spend it on garbage I'm never going to enjoy. What's the point? That's why I ditched it a long time ago. I was like, I'm good with it. I just don't care. But yeah, you know how that goes. What's going on there, backyard astronaut? Good to see you. He said, after following you for a couple of years, I started telescoping and found surprising structures. Thanks for stimulating me, Chris. Well, and that's the thing. Whether it's what you just said, getting you all fired up, wanting to get your own telescope, whatever it may be, people getting Photoshop, looking into this stuff themselves. This is the reason why we drop the links, so that everybody can have a look. So once you do that, you're like hooked. You know what I mean? So it's like it's sparked something in you because you go, I know there's something out there than just what we are here. And that's what's cool. People are starting to do the work, whether it's looking through the eyepiece, photoshopping it, looking at it themselves and finding the stuff. That's the joy in it. That's what keeps you fired up, because you don't know what you're going to find in these things. It's like you looking at the moon. You could be looking at the moon going, wow, never noticed that feature before. It looks more of a structure than it looks like a crater. Find some cool stuff. So kudos to you for doing that. Well, Mountain Bear, what's going on? He said, I am not buying the BS about they could have life. Well, they could have been life on Mars 3 or 4 billion years ago. Much more recent, my opinionated. No, you're right. I totally agree with you. I'm on the same page. I don't believe for a moment that's been years ago. That's a bunch of crock. This is just a big crock of shit. I'm going to say within the last hundreds of years, if that. Because you'd have to believe, unless these people, this civilization, built everything out of stainless steel, pure stainless steel, this stuff would have been rotted and eroded by now. Even if it was stainless steel and it's thin, with the windstorms they get, I don't care if it's 50, 60 miles an hour. Let's say it's 300 on Mars, but it's equivalent to like a 50, 60 mile. I don't care. I would not want to stand out in the wind 50, 60 mile an hour with these fine. It's like being in a, what do you call it? I'm trying to think of the word here. Sandblaster. It's like standing right there just getting battered constantly. You know what's going to do to that metal? It's going to completely disintegrate it. So that's why I don't believe for a moment it's been that long. I really don't. Besides that, you got a water cycle in Gale Crater. So what does that tell you? Erosion. So and a lot of it's brine. So you get a lot of salt water content. So you know for a fact, if it's anything like we had, let's say we dropped a car on the moon, or I'm sorry, on Mars, or even on the moon. But if you dropped it on Mars, it's going to literally rot. But yet, there's a lot of things we see in these photos that even if they look complete or they look decimated somehow, they're still there. So that tells me it's not that long ago. That's why I said, I wonder if it was those nuclear blasts they seen in 1941. Huh, kind of weird. Think about how many years ago is that? Right? We're talking about what, 80, 82 years ago? Perfect. It's kind of like I said, that movie, The 100. We've been binging on that, my wife and I. And I think it started coming out in 2014. And we didn't realize that they even have new series coming out this year. I believe it's this year. So I think that's really interesting. But if you watch that show, and we talked about this last time, when you watch it, it's literally, we decimated Earth. We lived on a giant space station, sent a bunch of people down, and of course we wanted to see if it was habitable or not, or we could live there, and so on and so forth. And it's kind of like, wow, that's really weird. It's like there were still people living there after so many years after this nuclear holocaust, and it's kind of the same thing we're seeing on Mars. But I don't think it was quite that long ago. I think it's within 80 or 100 years ago. It just seems like the pieces fit. Now, can I prove that? No, it's pure speculation. That's all I can do. But it's kind of weird 80-something years ago. Now we're there. And like I said, we had the two blast areas. We have the face of Cydonia area, and all of the landers and rovers are right around that area, just under it. The InSight lander was closest, I think it was one of the closest to that site. What's the deal? It's not coincidental. These guys are not idiots. Like I said, they didn't sit there with dots and go, oh yeah, it looks like a good place. You know, they didn't just throw dots at a big map of Mars and say, yeah, looks good to me. What do you think, Pete? Yeah, sounds great. No, they didn't do that. No, this was methodically thought out, and they knew exactly what they were doing, how to get it there. This is the reason why they're there. Joe Oliver, I guess it's Oliver. That moon crap scares the hell out of me. Something just ain't right up there. Anyone else feel that way? Yeah, I mean, when you see the in-depth photos, when you bring all of the shadows and darkness areas and everything else and just have the structures, it does have this weird eerie feeling to it. And I think that's what may have screwed up the Apollo 11 mission, folks. Can you imagine walking around that area? Seeing things like decimated, like laying over, or structures that are completely still intact, and you're looking at these things going, these are not ours. And depending on how big they are to boot, now you're looking at like, oh my God. And then you're told you can't talk about it. So people get there like, I got to talk to somebody about this. I got to get it out. I'm sorry, you can't. We'll let you talk to maybe a shrink that works for NASA or JPL. What do you think? We'll help you get it out. You know. And like some of these guys they were like turned into recluses, you know what I mean? They're just like, I don't want nothing to do with anybody, I'm out. But some of these people, some of these astronauts took it to the grave. You know, even the ones that are just like they just orbit the moon and they didn't do anything else. You know, they took fantastic photos of this ground and seen some crazy things going, oh my God, look at that stuff. What could they do about it? Now they probably came home, wanted to talk about it, and guess what? You can't. So, yeah. Samo says money contains a lot of helium. Well, helium-3, that's right. So now we're trying to figure out where they up there mining that. But to me, there's such an expanse of these structures all over the moon's lunar surface that I don't think that's the case. They might have been doing that, but they live there. It wasn't just like a, hey, why don't we just go there, have a little mining community, and then just, you know, just go ahead and mine and then we'll take off. It looks like they live there. I mean, they're scattered all over the place. And it's like all over the moon, but I don't know how big these things really are. So I don't know. You know, it's hard to tell. What are you doing? Oh, hold on. Everybody's saying, "Oh my God, he's just mute." Just talking to the wife there. She's going out to going out with our daughter, going to the mall or something. I forget what it was, but getting something. Just doing a little shopping. Do what you got to do. But Mr. Seven Digit, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Let me see. Lapis, or Lapis, whatever you want to call it. He said, I think they push the moon by laser measurements, solar sail concept. They measure so periodically it has an effect. Well, did you see what they're trying to do? They're trying to, and I seen this concept a long time ago. What they want to do is they want to send like a mission to Mars, but they want to send it by laser. Kind of the same thing. It's like, I don't know, if to propel it through space, and they want to use it that way. And I'm thinking, that's gonna be one bad whammer jammer of a laser. Think about it, right? Well, that's a good question, John. You said, how do they see the blast on the moon in 1941 when World War II was going on? That's a great question. I forgot exactly what observatory they seen that from. I'm almost positive. I don't know for sure. But it seemed to me as like right next to the equatorial region here on Earth. And I know there was other photos that were taken. Oh, where were they at? Some of them, I think a couple of them were from Portugal, and some of them from, and I don't remember the other ones here. So, you know, let me see here, make sure this is right. So they've taken like these old photos back in the 70s and 80s where you can see a lot of different colors of Mars, right? But so they could have easily been observatories doing this, you know, when that war was going on, right? What's going on there, Eric Gower? Good to see you there. Say, hey guys, it's raining Elon's trash. Man, that's not good. It's like, oh, nice satellite. Yeah. How do they not, like, build the things to resist that kind of thing? I'm a little confused. So they spent that kind of money and didn't do anything with it? I'm just confused. Has anybody thought about this? And I might have mentioned this last time. What if, now we know it's supposed to be for like internet for anybody around the world, right? We know that. But what if the outside, meaning the backside of these CubeSats, or their little satellites, the backs of them, obviously they're on the outside, meaning you got to look in from space to see the backside of them, and then of course the front side's facing down to the Earth. How do we know that this isn't like a global antenna, so they can read like information coming from all directions at once as opposed to one direction? How do we know that this isn't a giant receiving antenna array? Think about that. How do we know that's not the case? I mean, if they're all surrounding the Earth like a belt, right, then you can receive signals from all the way around our planet from every single direction. I thought about that and I'm saying, interesting. And then they get knocked out of orbit that quick? They didn't think of that to beef these things up? Joe Oliver, he said, the moon is inhabited by something or many things, and I'm sure we have a base or two ourselves, but we are the young ones by far. Oh yeah, we're definitely the new kids on the block kind of thing, right? Because these things have been on the moon, and it looks like it's been there for thousands of years. And I was just reading another article tonight, I think I got it here, where, what was it? Was it 800,000? Somebody said, you know, like, because we were talking about how the moon was brought here, and they're saying that's a very good possibility because they've noticed that the moon is like 800,000 or some kind of, I forget what, I think it's 800,000 years older than Earth. I'm going, what? So even if it was, obviously if it was brought here, then it could have been much older, right? So kind of interesting theories really going on. It's pretty cool. Mr. 786 Otto, what's going on? Good to have you. And he says, hi, everyone. What is going on, Otto? Cameron, she said, Chris, have a good stream and a good weekend. Looking forward to the next upload, Chris. See you in the next stream Friday. All right, Cameron, thanks for being here. You're probably going to eat dinner with the family there, right? Have yourself a good weekend. Be safe there, right? Always good to see Cameron in there. He's always in there. Just like all of you are. MG Toes in there. He just got by. They just slid by there. Just happened to notice and stopped right there. I was like, oh, okay. Steve Godham, what's going on? You said, hi, Chris, everyone. I'm late tonight. It's good to have you here, regardless, right? Good to have you in there. Long Island, New York, he said, why is it that all of the satellites that got knocked out from the solar storm, was it that only Elon's Musk was wiped out? Also, one of those satellites were classified spy satellite. That's what I'm saying. There's much more to these little satellites than they're saying. I don't think, you know, whether it be additional, like you're saying, you said, you know, also one of those satellites were classified spy satellite, rather. That's what I'm saying. Are they strictly just for internet, or do they have other purposes up there? Yeah. I thought about that because I'm going, why would they... Like we were talking about earlier, astronomers were saying, well, these things are right in the way. It's blocking out part of the sky, so we can't really see out there. So they didn't take that in consideration unless they didn't give a damn, because there's a lot more, there's a lot bigger motive going on to put those things out in space. It isn't just to say, hey, let's give Nigeria some satellite, you know, some internet. You know, it makes you wonder. You start thinking, okay, now I'm not saying you go full, you know, crazy on this stuff, but it just makes you wonder. It's, Peter Ferrero says helium-3 and Chinese machine to create temp equal to the sun's core is a fusion. Yep, energy. That's why China wants the moon base. Yeah, I think there's already bases up there, but it would probably be ours. They'd be latecomers to this, but they want to put a satellite out there because I think they've already got a satellite out in our orbit, but I think they want to put another one around the moon itself. And of course, it's going to get to the point, folks. You're going to see everybody going to the moon. It's going to be crazy, right? And they're just going to start doing whatever they want to do on the moon, and there's nobody there to really watch them. Who's going to police that? The people who are way above everybody is the ones that's controlling everything. There's no control. You know what the biggest thing is? Money. That's it. Get the money. Yeah, just produce that money and just go ahead and make that whatever we need and we're off. They don't care. Every single year, money disappears. What's going on, Elmir? Good to see you there. Stargate on Earth, Area 51. Oh, I think I've seen that. Wasn't this out for a while, the Almir? I'm almost positive that's been around for a little while. I think I know what you're talking about. It actually looks like a Stargate. Samo, you said it's such a loss of so much money. Totally agree with you. Totally agree. Tommy Bird says mostly just military satellites are hardened. All should be. 1 EMP and lights out. Well, you would think, you know, Elon would think of that. Because if you plan on keeping, well, let's keep in mind, this is supposed to be a link. The link for internet around the world, you'd think that these things had to be durable to be able to stay out there for X amount of years. You know, of course, they expire after so much time, and you got to replace them and everything else. But how long were they up there before they just got, you know, X amount of them, like 49 of them or whatever it was, that just got hit? Now they're junk. They're basically just a little piece of metal, probably in somebody's backyard. So, you know, what was the point in that? It just seemed kind of weird to just make something that weak and that vulnerable to, you know, these, basically it's like an EMP type thing. It's just a, you know, just completely destroy them. Too many of them, Kyle. So how many woodchucks would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck on wood? Way too many. Way too many. Just like Dick Lick 66 Sticky Slick stickers. That happens. Hey, there's Julia. How you doing, Julia? Good to see you in there. And by the way, thank you for your support. I did check that, and I do appreciate you. He said China has a satellite orbiting the moon now. Hi, Chris. I like that. Yeah, they've got one now, and that was for the communications with Chang 4. And that was supposed to just relay the message because obviously, you know, it's on the far side of the moon. And of course, you got to have a satellite hit uplink and then, of course, send the information back. But they want to actually put an actual satellite or like a space station like we have, like the ISS. And of course, I think they've already got their own up there. They've already been building it, or they've pretty much got it done. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong. And they're not the only ones. Other people want to do the same thing. But what I find interesting is that all of these people want to make this big bum rush. That, you know, it's like, remember like before it just started, just Apollo missions? Yeah, and of course there was other attempts to go to Mercury, Venus, Mars, and everything else. What did they see back in the day? They find it really difficult to go to. Why not just go to the opposite side? Or why don't you just go past Mars and go somewhere else? Because you know it's just a dead, barren planet, but yet everybody wants to go. Just like the moon. Now, if there's resources to grab off the moon, well, there's the allure, right? But there's much more than that. You know, there's machines, what look like I said, decimated structures and spacecraft leaning on their sides, and it's just crazy stuff on there. And again, this next moon one is going to show you some more structures and some other crazy stuff on there. So, you know, you have to believe that these people are privy to all this. You know that. You know, they're not dumbbells. So they're going there for a reason. They got a motive, whether it's to get the resources, claim your stake, whatever it is, and say, okay, I'm going to stake it right here. This is mine, because I know there's plenty of helium-3 here on the moon, so I'm going to stake this right here. And then, of course, if you're going over to Mars, or even the moon, I'm going to go check out what's in that part of the land I just staked, put the stake and put my mark in here. I know there's structures over here, and there's a couple of spacecraft, so this is all mine, so just stay away from it. People, it's up there for grabs, folks. That's all this is. It's a big grab. It's a big space race now. And it never was to see who could, even back in the original times, right? Great space race. It wasn't about, you know, oh, I got Sputnik up there now, so, we're God. It wasn't about that. It was a trial to see if they can get their rockets to work and get to the moon. This is the reason why, even though at the time, well, at the time of Soviet Union, they couldn't get a man up there, they sent the Lunar rover, which is an 8-wheel electric vehicle. Now, of course, it probably had the best camera it could have, and I think it even dug a little bit of the soil, but again, that's a PR move as far as I'm concerned. They went up there and took photos, close-up photos of these things. And they travel, a couple of these travel a good distance. We're talking X amount of miles. It wasn't like 20 feet, 30 feet. One of them made a pretty good, decent travel along the lunar surface, right? So you get a really good photo, a camera on there, and you take some really good photos, and you send them back. Who cares if the thing takes a dump after that? As long as you got what you need and the information you needed, you never had to risk anybody's lives. Of course, on the other hand, if you've got people up there, you're literally pulling this stuff apart and you're bringing it back in this briefcase. But wait a minute, there may be two briefcases. One, it's got parts and stuff we wanted to take back, and the other one has these cute little rocks we decided to dig up for you folks so we can analyze it. Yeah, that's not the case at all. I don't think so. Miss Heard, what's going on? You say, hello, Chris. Hello, everyone. What's going on, Miss Heard? Good to see you in there. Mr. Bushgory, what's going on? Mr. Bushgory, Gaz. What is happening? Maybe I like that. I heard about the solar storms. My internet stopped working, but it was just my rabbit who ate the cable. Hate it when that happens. Hey, it could have been worse, right? Could have been chomping on the electric line instead. Here we go. What's going on? Viglione. It'll be like the movie Outland on the moon. Yeah, exactly. Island. The correct answer is truckload. Yeah, pretty much. D. Tubbin. Oh, Tubin? Tubbin. Whatever caused the destruction of Mars, I wonder if it was politically motivated, religious motivated, a war between the races, or an outside entity. That's a great question. I don't know. Because if that happened, did they destroy themselves? Did they war with each other? Was it something outside Mars that created it? Was it us that did it? Who knows? But there's signs there. We know for a fact that there was life on that planet. There's no way around it. And of course, they keep saying, well, there might have been perhaps maybe a little life. If it was anything, it was maybe microbial, if that. Come on. It's so much more than that. And when you see these photos, like I said, you look at it and you go, sure, just microbial. Right. Okay. I don't believe that for a moment. Not for a moment. General Meow Putin says Chinese rovers proves there was discotheque on Mars on the city Chris was evaluating. They were just staying alive. Staying alive. Oh, yeah. Mimi reacts that China, Russia, and the USA will fight over the minerals. Oh, they'll just stake their own, pots on whatever planet they're on, or whether it be the moon, rather, or Mars, and whatever planet in the future. Yeah, they'll be just like, nope, this is my area, step off. And then they'll have their own, and they'll be able to come up with their own technologies, and hopefully it's for the better. But we know how that goes. Hey, if we can only make that destroy a planet. It's like, wait a minute, it's just a toaster. Oh, well, okay. But you know how people's minds work. They're like, if we can get that to work and maybe turn into a weapon, not something that you could say, perhaps we can build this for all humanity, like endless power source, or we could travel, be more spacefaring, endless amounts of power. We don't have to worry about it. We can go to the far reaches of the universe, and we can literally create wormholes with this thing, get there in seconds or minutes as opposed to billions of years. Oh, this is no. They'd rather weaponize it. That's how they are. Bunch of burnouts at the table. Dude, what do you think we just make that? I agree. Yeah, come on. You know. James Gregan, what's going on? He said, hi, Chris and everyone tonight. Great to be here. Glad you're here as well, man. Good to see you in there. Glad you made it. Mimi reacts, they won't stay in their lines. It's like kindergarten. You got that right. Yep. James Cragen is in the hizoo. That's what it was. Steve just said, James Cragen, you're late like me. You guys were out there having a couple of brewskis, weren't you? I know what's up. I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Mimi reaction said China might get jealous if Russia mines more stuff than them. Yeah, pretty much. We were just talking about that, Julia. You said the weather here sucks, but it's a gig. Well, it's like here. It's been really kind of cold, nothing spectacular. Maybe 40s, low 50s degrees Fahrenheit. Today was like 70. Windy as heck, though. You could have flew a kite and it probably would have ended up on the moon. But it was like 25-mile-an-hour winds, man. It was just crazy. So, but now it's down to 65. They're saying that the dew point's like 26. So we're going to get down to about 26 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly. The other one I have over here, that one there says like 15. I think it'll be no 15. That one's a little whacked. This one here's the newest one. I got the newest technology, where that one there is actually, one of mine has a little, wind sensor, and of course it took a dump. And so my neighbor, funny enough, he's got the same. He's got two more, just like I had. I went, okay, I'll just switch the channel to one of his, but his doesn't even register the wind. I think his just took a dump too. So it's like, oh, so that's where mine was going. Okay, I'm glad I got rid of it. So got the newest one, measures water, all that, rain, and whatever else. Anything you need to know. In fact, I think it even spies on Mars. Hold on. Oh, what? Yeah, General Meow Putin, yeah, you're right. If the natures on Earth were not fighting each other, imagine what they have could build and fly to Mars with and terraform it. They wouldn't even have to do that. I think they can actually live on the planet, with ease, pretty much. And even if you couldn't, like I said, they've already made, did experiments and, basically converted this carbon you have on Mars to oxygen. So even if that was the case and it was really bad, there's plenty of carbon up there, so there won't be any problem with that. Mimi said, come to Germany, it's always cold here. So that's what I hear. You basically wear a cat on your head just to stay warm, or a dog, yeah. Mr. Seven Digits says the problem with it, that is, some people don't like to share. Hate to be pessimistic, but countries will fall over this type of technology. Some people don't want it in the hands of others. Well, if you can envision, some countries that are like absolutely hell-bent on power, those are the people you don't want getting it, right? Because you're like, okay, why don't we get up there first and dominate the space race so that we get all the newest technology and do what we can. Because like I said, when you look at the map to all of the map itself on Mars, and you look at what they had, like the landers and rovers, it's like, it's literally all around the perimeter of, the face of Cydonia, the Cydonia region. And funny enough, that's where the big two explosions were. One was larger than the other, but they were right there. Funny enough, where are they at? Imagine that. So they're not too far in where everything could be completely decimated, but they're probably on the outer fringes of that blast zones, and maybe the stuff isn't so bad, and this is what they're really after. Dan Martin, you said weather here hasn't been too bad. Bad all winter. It's only snowed once. Well, it's kind of like, we had it in December. In fact, it was right in Christmas. We were like 60 degrees for a week. That never happens here. Now, you might get a warm day or two once in a while, a little bit of Indian summer, and then it's gone, right? But it's like 60 degrees. It was like a little over 60 degrees all week long around Christmas week. I'm like, what is going on here? So then, of course, I said, yeah, well, come I said, I was telling everybody, I said, yeah, come January, February into March, we're going to get our butts handed to us. And there you go. So we've gotten, well, it wasn't a whole lot. We really don't get a whole lot here. I think one snowstorm, quote unquote, was like 6 to 8 inches. The funny part about it is down here, everything's a storm to them. Oh yeah, like a major storm. And I'm going, oh wow, I'm going to see some real serious stuff here. And it's like 3 inches. I'm going, seriously? In the Northeast, if it was 6 to 8 inches, they said we're going to have a snowfall. If it was something much larger than that, 12 inches to 2 feet, 3 feet, we're going to have a major storm. That makes sense to me. I go, I think it's just a ploy to get everybody go out there. They go, did you say snowflakes? We're going to have to go out and get $300 worth of grocery shopping. I mean, it's just to stimulate the economy, I think, around here. I don't know what's going on, but it's just crazy. All right, let's jump into this here. All right, this is what gets really wild. NASA's Mars lander believed to be dying after furious dust storm. Oh no! And we're talking about the InSight lander. After accruing even more dust during the recent storm, NASA scientists believe that the InSight Mars lander may finally be on its last legs. Now, one of the guys said, well, it's supposed to be decommissioned at the end of 2022. But one guy predicted it because remember they had a storm not long ago, and what they do is they took like some soil and threw it on top of the solar panels and pretty much scattered the dust off, so it was able to keep running. But they said last summer, Bernard, I guess it's called, predicted that the dust on the InSight's solar arrays, an issue other than NASA's Mars equipment doesn't seem to experience because the planet's winds appear to clean them off, would lead to the lander's demise by spring of 2022 because they block the solar arrays needed to power up the machine. That date's been pushed back to the end of the year, but nonetheless, it's coming. And now all of a sudden they're saying that it might happen. Let me ask you guys a question. Does it make more sense? We've had rovers up there. Well, we had the Curiosity rover up there since 2012. And it has a nuclear energy source, right? So why wouldn't you do this on the regular other landers and stuff like that? Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you depend on something solar? Right? Crazy, right? I don't get it. I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so you got rovers that are romping around with nuclear, it's basically just decaying, you know, what do you call it? It's just nuclear power. It's decaying and it creates power. Why don't they do the same thing on these landers? I don't get that. And just like the helicopter, they're like this big, the solar panels, but that's enough to get it to fly. Which incidentally, check this out. NASA scientists are going to bawl their eyes out when the tiny Mars chopper dies. I'm not crying, you're crying. Silliness, but anyway. But they're saying NASA's Mars itty-bitty scouting helicopter has overlived its life expectancy 7 times over. And when it does finally cross the cosmic rainbow bridge, things are probably gonna get emotional. This heart-wrenching inside scoop comes from Christopher Hamilton, an associate professor of planetary sciences at the University of Arizona, who's witnessed other tearjerker endings of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena. Now, it says Ingenuity, the 4-pound helicopter that acts as a scout for the Perseverance rover, was only supposed to last 30 days when it was first took to Martian skies more than 7 months ago, as Hamilton told United Press International. Ingenuity's surprisingly long lifespan will make its final transmission, whenever it comes, that much more bittersweet, or that much more, yeah. When the day comes, that Ingenuity makes its final flight on Mars, the cosmologist, whatever the hell, told UPI. There will be a mixture of emotions, sadness that such an exceptional spacecraft has reached the end of its journey, but also triumph in that Ingenuity opened a new paradigm on Mars exploration. So they're expecting that thing at some point to El Krapsky. So what was planned as the what-if experiment turned into an important complement for Perseverance. And I could never get that. They're saying, well, it helped the Perseverance navigate. And yet the Curiosity never needed one. So we have a more high-tech rover up there, but that one needs one. No, 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 no. That's not why that thing was put up there. That was up there to get up and where that Perseverance could not go up inside things, go up and over around things, and have a better look and get over there a lot faster. They can go up and over mountains and hills and get there a whole lot faster than that rover can drive. What's to obstruct the rover? Or, you know, we know the rover can be obstructed by large rocks, boulders. It doesn't move very fast. Helicopter, and just move it along, go up and down places, and cover a whole lot more ground and height. That's right. So, yeah. Maybe he said it will lift off and fly to Cydonia. We wish. Mimi, you said, I guess it has found a good spot for a future Mars colony. Oh, yeah. Well, think about it. If I was to send people there, what if I could find an area that had structures that were still pretty solid, right? So in other words, I could fly the helicopter inside here. Okay, I don't see anything like cracked walls. I don't see it. The structure seems pretty stable. What if I could send people there and I don't have to do a whole lot of building, that these structures would suffice? How about, too, in addition to that, that there's an endless power source on Mars. We don't have to worry about a power source. The lights will still come on. They can still, and maybe they have machines there to convert the air as well. Better quality, their own atmospherics. What if? So if they surround themselves with these things and they're pretty stable, why not just move into those? It makes more sense to me. James Cragen, thank you very much for your support, as always. He said, Chris, give them a cloth for the dust. Jesus. They're like, hold on. Still can't see. I'm telling you, I don't know. It's just crazy. And of course, they got a video here of this thing flying around. Just kind of goes up, flies over here. This is the one that made the longest trip, I think. If you watch the video, it goes over to the right, and then it comes back. So it did quite a bit of flying. Now, they said it was only, I think, what, 3, maybe 4 meters in the air? So you're talking, what, 10? A little over 10 feet? I find that a little hard to believe, but let's say it only did. You know, it doesn't mean anything. They can still go up and around things, go up around hills, and go places a lot quicker than that rover can go. So they probably covered a whole lot of ground, and they said, let's get it done quickly. So when the event that this thing does take a dump and can no longer charge itself, which I still don't understand why it can't. Again, we're talking about a solar panel that's this big, but yet Mars is so much further, guys. There's no way we could charge. Come on. There's a lot more than they're saying there. A lot more sun, a lot more atmosphere, a lot more of anything going on. There you go. Renee V says, probably the paint will soon be finished with which they edit the photos, so they make up these excuse lines. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just buy a little time. That's what it comes down to, right? That's a great point, Flux Capacity. So we could be seeing 10-year-old footage and never know it. Who's to say? You know, they could have sent something up there a long time ago and said, oh, this thing's still functioning. Why don't we just go ahead and continue to use that? And then we use these as excuses like, yeah, they're actually here to see this stuff now. Since, well, like I said, 1997 when they had the Sojourner, the first rover. And then, of course, 2004 we had the Spirit and Opportunity. And then, of course, 2012, the Curiosity. And then, of course, you know, 2020 actually is supposed to be the rover, but Perseverance. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good possibility, right? John Jobs is American first. Oh, yeah. Pete Ferrero says, NASA it lies about equipment failures as usual to the public. Well, yeah, I mean, I still think, like, the Spirit rover is still running around. And who knows, you know, if the Opportunity isn't too. How do we know that? You know, even if they can't move, they probably could still look around and still take pictures until it finally completely died, right? But I just find it hard to believe, because here's the thing. You can look this up. If you look at the satellites out in our own orbit of our own Earth, right? We have a lot of these satellites are nuclear powered. And this goes back in the 70s. But yet, let's not put nuclear power in this InSight lander. Let's not put like a little tiny source, a power source inside. Of course, it's only a 4-pound helicopter, so I can understand that. But then how is this thing recharging enough to be able to lift off? That must be an extremely efficient motor to be able to do that. Very low powered, but yet it's got to be heavy duty to boot. if that makes sense. Think about that a minute. Renee V says 100% where there is still so much intact, but also life, Chris. Believe me now. Oh yeah, I mean, now are you talking about the moon or Mars? I think both. There could very well be life still in the ground under the moon's surface or on Mars itself. And I think they're seeing a lot of this stuff and they're just inspecting it. But the only thing that makes me think that there's nothing living on Mars is the fact that they haven't attacked the rover. They haven't done anything to the rover. Picture something like that living on or coming to our planet. You know the military would have grabbed this thing in a New York second. If it was something come down here on Earth, let's say it's just wandering around in the desert somewhere, and it just happens to be come along the first city that it comes across, and it starts to roam and look around the cities while there's activity there. You know as well as I do, people are going to be freaked out. They're going to capture it and they're going to dissect it. And yet this hasn't happened here on Mars. Is it because they're afraid of it? It does have laser after all. But you're not going to tell me that some civilization is going to allow this thing to just roam around unless they just don't come out from underground. They do to scavenge a couple things and then they're back underground. Perhaps. But other than that, I don't see how they can be. James Cragen said, Chris, I was late tonight again, so I'm not sure if you spoke about the fantastic lunar vids this week. They have mind-blowing amount of structures, towers, and mechanical-looking devices, etc. Yeah, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff in these photos that, you know, at first, if you don't get your eyes to settle, this is what I found pretty funny. When you first look at it, you're kind of like doing this. Then you just kind of let yourself sink into the actual photo, and like almost like you're just hovering above the lunar surface. Then you start, like you're looking around, then you start to see all of these things. Then they just start popping out. Then you can actually see the depth of the photo. And then you can almost picture yourself being on the lunar surface looking around going, wow, this is insane. So that's what makes it really cool. When they're really bright, censored out, washed out, call it what you will, you don't see anything. Like I said, this next video coming out is absolutely insane. It's just, yeah, it's more these things laying all over the surface. And you just go, okay. And I've had some people say, well, I don't see this stuff. I've got a, I've got my own telescope. I don't see this stuff. Well, if you're talking about some of these missions were on the far side, or the photos were taken from the far side, then obviously you're not going to see what's on there. You're not going to see on the far side of the moon. Now, when you see like, what's his name? I think I got it over here. Hold on. I think I took a screenshot of this. John Leonard Walson, when you look at this photo, what do you see? Like I'm looking at this thing, and this was part of his video, and it's called UFO Hunters Spot Alien Ship Hidden. Now, I don't know if this was actually the spot, but if you looked right here, it looks like it's inset in the ground. Again, it looks like, or it appears to, let me get my ugly mug out of the way here. It looks like when you see this, there's a rectangular cutout right here on the lunar surface, and look what's inside. Is it structures? Is it some kind of craft? I'm not sure what that is, but check that out. It's a cutout right in the ground. It's not clearly it's not a crater. You can see that. So what is that? He does a lot of good work. He finds some really, really crazy stuff. And you can see that. Again, the name of the video is UFO Hunters Spot Alien Ship Hidden. I'll give you the link to it. I don't think I dropped the links last time to the other ones we had, but they weren't really all that exciting. They were pretty decent, don't get me wrong, but they weren't like exciting like some of the things we posted recently. But this stuff here, this is crazy. And I watch John's every now and then. Look at the way this thing cuts out in the back. I mean, you can see it literally in the backside it goes straight, goes back at a little bit of an angle, goes straight again, comes back this way towards the front, a little bit of an angle, and it goes like this here. Look at the way that thing's shaped out. You're going to tell me that's like lunar surface? Just normal? Natural? No, definitely not. I just happened to be going through the video. I said, whoa, hold on, pause, screen grab. And there you go. Crazy, man. Well, in New York, thank you again for your support, brother. He said, come on, guys, let's super chat. More Iapetus vids. Oh, yeah. We're gonna get into a lot more of these. The sad thing about them, like a lot of these moons, they don't have a whole lot of, photos, and you're really gonna find the best when you can, right? Because you want to find the thing with the best details. That's what it really comes down to. So I look forward to that, trying to find something really cool in these things. Because again, you never know what you're gonna find. Andrew Cole, he said, Chris, you are so right about needing to let our eyes adjust properly to be able to see them. Yeah, because when you first look at the photo, you go, I'm just seeing what look like just simple blotches. But then all of a sudden, like I said, if you don't go in too far, get a certain distance away, just let your eyes settle into the photo. Don't look at it, look into it. And once you do, you start seeing all these structures, and it looks like cities just laying around. It's just like weird things laying all over the place. You go, wow. The first time I did that and enhanced one of these photos, I got into it and I said, whoa, that is just absolutely cool. That is neat. NASA just released first ever images taken by the most advanced space telescope ever made. Of course, we're talking about the James Webb telescope. And you can see right here, you can see initial alignment mosaic. And it's right there. Well, right there. Pretty cool. It looks like it's pretty sharp. But of course, it's going to have to do a complete alignment with the mirrors and, get that adjusted. And you see what they got right here. It says wing and then wing. And of course, they got it numbered C through whatever numbers, A and C and B. And I think it's B. Yeah, you get the B here. Segment identification mosaic. And you can see right here, it says primary mirror selfie. So they've got one. So I don't know if it opens up or does whatever. I'm not sure, but pretty cool to say the least. So they're getting there, folks. You see where they've done that there? And some of them, I think I showed you guys last week where they had it. And one looked like it had a motion blur, but clearly that could be just a gleaming of the light, right? So, but it's getting there, folks. It's getting there. Can't wait to see this thing really adjusted and calibrated and ready to rock and roll. That's going to be cool. Jerry Lahane, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Hey, Mike making it back. What's going on, Mike? Mr. Mike Knapp is back in the house. Let me see. James Cragen, again, thank you. Appreciate you, man. You said exactly. Let's not forget about the distance, too. Exactly. Now, this thing's about, what, 1 million miles away from Earth? And, of course, they wanted to get it away from, I think, the gravitational pull and any of that sort. So there's no influence at all. And I don't recall, and they were trying to get it away from any kind of distortions. It could be anything, right? They just wanted it totally away from everything. They needed to turn it so that the back was to it. Now they're cooling it down. Now they're calibrating everything, getting the cameras 100%, or not the cameras, I'm sorry, but the actual reflectors, getting everything picture perfect, getting it just right, because they wanted, I forget how many degrees, it's supposed to be below actual zero, not like 0 degrees, but technical 0. So they're trying to get everything down, get it working 100%. This thing is like the most, technologically advanced. Can't wait to see what this thing comes out with. Now, will they show everything there is to see? Something tells me not going to happen. Unless they say, well, it's about, 4 billion miles away, light years away, that, we might have seen a Dyson sphere. We're not quite sure, because we had that happen not long ago, right? Yeah, Steve Garnham, he said, no Jean tonight. Yeah, I didn't see him either. Probably busy. Probably hanging out. Maybe he's with family or something. Pete Ferrero says moon bases are certainly possible. Men in Black 3 used it. Life imitation of art is normal. Sean Taylor says nothing about the moon is natural. No, when you really observe that thing, it's crazy, right? It's what did they say before? It's easier to explain it away than it is to explain it. Because it's just that weird. Well, you guys were looking at this photo here, right? Well, this here is just an arrow, if that's the one you're talking about. When you said left corner, you're talking about way over here. Because keep in mind, there's just two arrows. There's one on the right and left, so I don't know if you guys are talking about those. But yeah, there's what looks like, if you look at the lower left, it looks like there's another square here. See that? Yeah, you gotta take a real close look at these objects because you don't know what's in here. You have no idea. Now, there's no way to know exactly how big these craters are right here. One on the right, one in the middle almost, and the one on the far left. We don't know how large these things are. And then we have this cutout right here, what looks like a square or rectangular area, and it's kind of like dug into the lunar surface, and you can see this back part of it has a shape to it that's not natural. And the one, this crater right here, the small one to the very left, it looks like this wavy piece or something like that sitting right inside this crater. I don't know what the heck's up with that. And then, of course, you got that square in the lower left. Pretty crazy stuff. Sad Boy, he said, Chris, I think that the Apollo astronauts already did an extraterrestrials disclosure. They already said it in their conversation with Houston base that they were actively on the moon. Well, yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot more going on, guys, than we can imagine. It's just crazy stuff, right? Scientists stated in 1970 that the moon is artificial. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was two Russian gentlemen, I think they were scientists or whatever, and they had stated this, that it says right here that the hypothesis that the moon is hollow inside is far from new, which it's not. This goes way back. And they were talking about this, and he said in his 1901 novel, rather, entitled The First Men in the Moon, and it says in the moon, not on it, H.G. Wells, 1866 to 1946, known to many as the father of science fiction, wrote about an epic journey to the moon. The protagonists of the novel are surprised to learn that the moon is not at all what it seems to be from Earth. In fact, it is hollow and inhabited by a strange alien race. Such fantasies were very bold for a novel published in 1901. However, as soon as people had visited the moon more than 60 years ago, a concept of hollow Earth, hollow Earth, well, that too, but hollow moon was further developed. And of course, I've always seen this photo here. It's like a giant station, right? And you can see right here, there's different, it goes on to talk about, how I just told you guys this, they just slammed crash landed the Apollo 12 module. This was a while back. And then, of course, they just set off they're going to have Elon's rocket crash into the moon. And it's supposed to be the equivalent of like 20,000 sticks of dynamite, so on and so forth. And this, of course, is the equipment that they put on there. Passive, and you can see right here, it says passive seismic experiment, isotope heater, which basically heats the inside of this thing. Antenna mast, carry handle, all that crap. It's got solar panels and everything else, right? But literally, they talk about this, how they talked about how they believed that this was Sherbakov, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and Vassin proposed that the massive machines were used to melt rock and form long cavities within the moon, spreading the molten refuse onto the lunar surface. They said that the moon was preserved by a hull-like inner shell in addition to a reconstructed outer shell of metallic rocky junk, and eventually this enormous craft was steered through the cosmos and finally put into orbit around our planet. The two scientists backed their claim with scientific data. They stated that some lunar rocks contain processed metals such as brass, the elements of uranium-236, and neptunium-237. Interestingly, these cannot be found to occur naturally. So, of course, some people argue with these people, right? But it's not as far-fetched. And of course, like if you watch the movie Moonfall, then that really becomes evident. It's pretty cool. Really, really cool stuff. Josh D said, I do know the Russian story very well. They made many statements and have a contact who told me it was taken more serious than we think. Well, that I don't doubt. Person, look at this. The new NASA woke crowd. James Webb up. until we can fix NASA and get that crowd out. Go back to merit and character and not race. Yeah. I think I heard parts of that, Pete. You said recommendation, listen to Coast 2007. Lair and Hoagland discuss Moon. Very good. Yeah, oh yeah. Joe Oliva says, yeah, that crap ain't right up there. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much weirdness going on and around the moon that you can't help but to question it. Of course, you don't want to go way off the deep end and say, oh, yeah, well, this is, this. But on the other side of the token, you're like, well, the thing is, though, look what we're reading here and the stuff we're seeing on the moon and these photos that we're dismantling and dissecting and everything else. I mean, yeah. See, this always kind of puzzled me, too. I don't know if this is even true. But you can see a bizarre alien medallion was found in an Egyptian tomb. And you can see that where kind of funky looking, where it looks like a spacecraft and an alien head and stuff like that. And I don't know how true that is. You can see it right here. That's pretty cool. I actually get a video about it, but I won't play that because you'll get copyright strikes. But you can see it right here at the top of this black and white one right here. Okay, the cylinder-like objects next to it seem to be glass tubes designed to hold something. Yeah, it might be these right here. You can see on the green ones right there. Yeah, I think these are kind of made up, to be honest with you. It just seems a little weird that, so like, oh yeah, look at this. They just happen to find this. I mean, somebody could have easily made those after, right? I mean, who knows? Long Island, New York says, everyone go thumbs up now. Newcomers, please subscribe. Yes, please. If you haven't given it a thumbs up, please do so. It is awesome. By the way, folks, we have a new Hangout area. People were saying, hey, Chris, why don't you start a Discord, or Discord, depending on how you want to pronounce it, fast or slow. And we already had one done, but decided to finish it up. So you can now go there and check it out. So let's see. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have, let me see if I can do this here. All right, I'm going to drop the link. You guys can check it out. Now we have different areas. Some of them are like, perfect example. We have general chat, conspiracy chat, anomalies chat, and Mars chat. And what we'll do is, once we get this thing cranking up, we might even go live on this. We can also do, we can throw finished photos up there if you guys like. We can do, let me see, let me get my, whoop, not what I was trying to do here, but anyway. So we have like these 4 different categories, because you can put general chat, could be about anything, right? And then of course conspiracy could be about just about anything. It doesn't even have to relate to the moon or Mars. And of course we get anomalies chat, which is anything to do with Mars and the moon. And then we have the regular Mars chat. So we can basically use these rooms for anything we want. So I'm going to give you the link to it. You guys can check it out. You can jump up there. And what I'm going to try to do is, like I said, if you guys want, I can, like after these videos are done, I can take the enhanced ones and put them into these areas. And then of course you can discuss them, or we can discuss whatever you want. And then what I'm going to try to do is, if I can, I'm going to give this thing a test run and see if I can get this thing to work live. And then, of course, because we're trying to work all the bugs out of it now. And so we're going to see what we can do with that. So let me see here. I'm going to drop it right here. So now we can chat all the time. If you guys want to hang out together, you can do that. And that is a place for you to go where you can chill out and you can talk all week long. And like I said, what I'll try to do is, we'll see how it works out first, get it going. And then what we're going to try to do is, like, we'll put pictures on certain ones there. Like I said, if we have to, we can put like the stock and then put the enhanced, and we can chat it up about that. There's a whole lot of, what is going on here? Oh, let me just check this real quick. think it's something to do with the weather. I'm not sure. It just popped up. Let's see. So there's some kind of message for it, but yeah, you click on it, the link doesn't work. Nice, right? So yeah. Josh D said, just jumped, I am often on Discord. Yeah, I mean, so the cool thing about it is you guys can get the link, jump on there. And of course, and guys, I'm going to be truthful with you. I got like a PayPal link on each of these rooms. So if you feel cool, like, like we're here, why don't we just throw them a couple dollars while you're there? It'd be greatly appreciated. This way it gives us more time to chat, and I know a lot of you guys like to chat about different things. It gives you a place to go during the week as well. And who knows, we might be starting to go up there a little bit more too, because you can put videos up there. I can put, I can chat it up there with you guys as well. And we can make that like instead of being on here, we can do that up then there. I mean, I don't care one way or the other. Just try to expand and have different avenues, just like we have Odyssey as well. Anytime I post a video, it goes up on Twitter as well as Odyssey. When I post it, it goes up on these other places too. Now, it's not going to get nearly any hits as it does here on YouTube, but the thing is, people get to see it from different avenues, right? So with the Discord, you guys can go on there, check it out. I think it's cool. In fact, I had my daughter help me out with it because she already has one. Her and her boyfriend, they already have it, and he does links like. He does everything to do with sports and betting and stuff like that. So he's pretty much knows his way around that stuff pretty good. Now, I already had one set up. I just didn't make it go completely through and just completely set it up. That's all. But it is now. So you guys can now go up there and enjoy it. Like I said, it's just laid out just now, so we don't have any pictures up there yet, but it'll give you the opportunity to jump up there and check it out, right? See here. Just let me check this real quick. Oh, just jumped on me here. There we go, yeah. Viglione, yeah. Is that chat anytime? Yeah. So the cool thing about it is you can go up there and actually just, just chat it up. And that's the cool part, because I know a lot of you folks are like me. You're like, oh man, I like the idea of, like, Friday nights is awesome. But if you could chat it up a little bit more here and there, and like I said, we're going to be, we're going to slowly get a little more active with that as well. And the more, I know some, pretty much a lot about Discord, but as far as, knowing all completely 100% ins and outs, that's remains to be seen. So, but we already got it all set up. It's ready to rock. And of course, there's some rules in there, so nobody can just badger each other, because you will be kicked off. And if you do get somebody in there, they'll get warned and everything else, and of course they'll get kicked off if that's the case. So, but I mean, everybody here is good. I'm just saying, if we get other stragglers in there, it's already bots in there set up to just throw them off. So, we'll have it pretty much set up and ready to rock. So we're just testing it out now, just getting it, ready here, and everybody can jump on there and check it out. Sign up for it, and you can just jump right in there and have some conversations. Look at this, says the moon has been blocking our waves signals. I'm sorry. We send out, just a thought. Well, I mean, maybe in one direction, I think you'd be right? 100%. But, I mean, as far as everything else, I mean, because you only got like a certain amount or degrees of that area in the sky, well, out in space, that it would probably block out some, but it's still a blockage of that particular area going that direction, whatever direction it's going out to, right? So, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, you could have just opened a link to somewhere else. You didn't have to do it on here. just click on the link, but just say open on, like if I, let me see if I go up here. Hey, see, mine just automatically jumped to it. So you must be on your phone. You might be on your phone, right, Miss Heard? Let me see, this thing just jumped here. Yeah. Now, like I said, if you have to, I don't know if you could do it on a phone where you can just say open up a new tab, but like mine, as soon as I hit it, it automatically went to a new tab. It never jumped off of this. But if you're on your phone, it may be acting totally different. Josh D said, love Discord during many of my UFO groups, and YouTube Discord is where the serious talk is. Well, yeah, pretty much. And that's what I like to be able to do, get in there and just, do like we're doing now, but even more. And like I said, what I can do is start dropping like pictures in there. Everybody can discuss, grab for themselves, and check this stuff out. Because a lot of times, like I said, I wanted to put this in a place where the finished enhanced photos, I want to put it somewhere so you guys can actually check out even further, as opposed to just seeing it on the video. So that's what we like to do too. Andrew Cole taking off. He said, I'm going to have to drop now, folks. Very tired. So happy to see so many fine people discussing the more important questions. Stay safe, everyone. And hopefully see you again soon. Well, no problem. Andrew Cole, like I said, do what you can to get better. I'm sorry to hear that you got this thing. But like I said, get a little bit more zinc in there. I think they said the max a human body can get was like 40 milligrams. But again, I got into 50 just to get into my system, and then you can just get regular, or just get 30 milligram, what do you call it, supplements, caplets or whatever, capsules I think they are. But that and vitamin C, do what you can to kick this thing's butt. I hope you get better soon. So try to stay healthy and be safe there, right? And I'm happy to have your support and just being here. It's awesome. Oh, okay, that's what I figured, Miss Heard. Yep. See, as soon as I clicked on it, automatically just because I'm on a PC, it automatically opened up the tab. Marco Besta, he said, disclosure won't happen. The idea is that aliens are a threat, so billions of dollars is pumped into black projects to safeguard us against the alien threat invasion. Aliens are peaceful. Totally agree with you. Totally agree. Steve Garnham, you said you're talking to Long Island. You said, yes, I asked Chris that before. He must have missed it. Did I miss that? Well, it does jump on me here, so I'm trying to get everybody's... Long Island said Moonfall was made in cooperation with the CIA and NASA, I bet. Well, the thing is, like I said, everybody's talked about the moon. Guess what? It's like all thrown into that movie. That's what's crazy about it. But it does have this weird twist almost near the end, which I think is really cool. And really kind of weird and scary at the same time. But, well, not in a kind of frightening horror way. But, I mean, you'll see what I mean if you watch it. Really, really good stuff. And so when I was watching, I said, I'll be darned if it's like... Now, if somebody can actually make one that's got to do with them being on Mars, you know, they've seen this on there, let's say from like a long time ago in the movie, they're saying, yeah, we've seen something in the satellite photo. What is that? And then, of course, they go there and they find these structures that some of them are still up and some of them are wrecked, and they had some kind of thing, and they can show like a story of what happened on this planet, you know, and they're seeing how things are built into the hillsides or things that look like buttes, and they're crafts and structures and vehicles or whatever they may be laying about like a devastated civilization. That would be a cool movie. They did one on the moon like this here. I'd like to see them do something like that on Mars. That'd be like crazy cool, right? Now, let me see, this thing jumped a little bit here. Where we go? Josdy, I don't know if she's still in there. He was asking Julia how the Antarctica work going. I said, I know she changed gears a little bit, so where she's actually doing pretty well for herself, where she got a better job now and everything else. And I think she said in her last job that they were doing the mandate, they were really pushing on everybody. She was like, I'm out. And then she ended up getting in a lot better place, better job and everything else. And she's, I think, where was she last? She's over across the big pond. I know she was over there for a little bit. I'm not sure if she's still there, but I think she bounces every now and then back and forth. But so she's doing a lot better, which is great, you know, because that's what you want. Let me see. Hold on. I did actually. Well, let me do it this way. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Okay, let me see if I can find this thing. I think you were just saying Mars leaks. Let me see if I can find that. Of course, the thing is, I got it on this computer, which is, I can't really show anybody. That's what's crazy. Because this is the computer over here I do it on, and this one here I just did to... Let me see. All right. I see what you mean now. Oh, that's crazy. I don't know if I can get that thing on there where... Let me see. Let me see what I can do here. Mars leaks, he said, any chance we can look at that image? Here's the funny part. Let me do this here. Because I won't be able to view it on this computer because I'm actually doing the same thing you're doing. I'm looking at right here at this particular, what you're seeing. So in other words, I'm not on here to show, on the other computer to show you. Okay, let me see. Here we go. All right, so what I can do, I'm going to drop the link so people can look at it, but I know exactly what you're talking about, Mars leaks, because when I looked at that, I said, oh, come on, this is such crap. Folks, you got to check this photo out. It looks nice and clear, it looks really nice, but it's trash. I just dropped the link right there. You guys can click on it. That's one of the photos that that he just sent me here. It looks like a really good photo, but when you look at it, you're going, whatever. I mean, you can see, because Mars Leaks just sent that to me. And like I said, I don't have it on that computer where I can actually show, like we were looking at different tabs. So I didn't do it on that computer, which I probably should have. But But I gave you the link. You can check it out. It's a decent-sized file, but it's not bad. And I'll tell you what, it's good quality, but you can just tell this thing's a painting. I mean, even the dirt on the ground, it's got the ripples in it. Oh my God, that is sad. That is sad. Because, you know, it's funny. Let me see here. Let me go back. This thing just jumped on me here. But, okay. Yeah, because you know as well as I do, Mars Lakes, right? This is what's funny. When you look at that so-called hill in the background on the right, that's the one we've been looking at all this time. And we just did a video on it not long ago where it looks like it's a structure because it's off in the distance, and they don't tend to really go crazy on things that are in a distance. But you can see with the structure, it looks like a structure, like it's been blown apart or something. You look at this thing, it's completely, almost no details at all, and it just looks very sad. You look at that photo and look at any other photo of that same area, it constantly changes. Every single time you see it, it changes. So that's how you know it's bogus. They're definitely hiding this stuff. Turkler, what's going on? Good to see you. And he said, hi, everyone. Oh, Mike, I didn't know you did that. He said, you're talking about misheard. But he said, I filmed what seemed to be a Tic Tac here in Wales last year. It's on my Instagram. No kidding. Too bad you didn't have a link. We could just share it. Check it out. Steve Garnham said, I've not seen Moonfall yet. I also want to see Greenland. That looks good. Yeah, Moonfall is good. And it starts pretty quick as far as, like, it doesn't drag out. I mean, the thing literally, it's 2 hours and 2 minutes long, I think, like that. So it's like, yeah, it's like a hair right over 2 hours. But it gets right into it pretty quick. It's pretty good. And I like it. It's a good movie. Some people are like, oh, yeah. Now, keep in mind, this is the same guy that made The Day After Tomorrow. So you'll see some similarities in the way the movie's made. But really, really good movie, regardless. Because I enjoyed The Day After Tomorrow, too. That was a good movie. Oops. Hate when a damn thing jumps. James Gregan said, Chris, a question for you. If you don't mind, why is it that with all of the clear to see evidence on Mars and the Moon that is being shown by you and others, yet NASA and the rest still are in denial? Well, you know as well as I do. They're going to say, well, it's swamp gas or it's your pareidolia. Yeah, because we see all of this stuff laying all over the place, and yet you expect it to be dumbbells. You know, this is what's funny. It's like they look at it as like, you know, somebody said that before, like a bunch of mushrooms and just being fed crap, basically. And that's about sums it up. And you know what? They think everybody here is a moron. But when you break these photos down, then you start seeing these things in there, you're going, okay, it's one thing to see one photo, you go, it was a fluke. Come on, it's a fluke. But then you see another photo, and then there's just hundreds more. You know as well as I do, it's not a fluke. It's just not that way. Lionheart Glassworks, what's going on? Good to see you there. He said, hope everyone is having a great night. I'm doing well. I know a lot of these others are. I hope you're doing well, Lionheart. Lee Herring, what's happening? He said, hey all, thumbs up. Go truckers. I agree. Do it. Tell them to shove the mandate. Guess who W asked, may I ask you a question about anomalies, Mr. Chris? Do you think our government has it had captured ET's people? I believe that they have. And not just on one occasion, because we're talking about the Roswell, but there's other occasions where they said that they've had found like a downed UFO, or either they shot it down. You know, they claim that they don't have the technology, but how do we know we don't have like an EMP type thing back in the day where it could just shoot something down, or it's just a simple missile? But there's other stories about that, even on the moon, where they said at one point there was an Apollo 20, and of course there was the Mona Lisa that they found in the craft. I'm not sure I believe any of that, but as far as the Roswell and some other incidents around the world where they had found ETs, but I also think that they've been in talks with them for quite a few years. Now, keep in mind, they may not want anything to do with the population here, but as far as the higher-ups, who's in charge of this planet, quote unquote, that, you know, they got a rapport with them and they can actually talk back and forth and, you know, help share information or whatever they're doing. I don't know. But I do believe that they've been in talks, or they've actually talked with aliens at one time, or at least ran into them, so to speak, like on the moon, where the astronauts claim, like, oh, we can see these things, these crafts are so large, they're sitting on the edge of the crater, they're watching us, and they can feel things underneath their feet, like things moving and stuff like that. So yeah, I believe that we've talked to them and we're in talks with them. You know what I mean? Like I said, we got a good rapport with them, and this is how, maybe, who knows, maybe this is how we're getting our technology to be able to further our, you know, our space race, so to speak, to get everything going. I don't know, but I do believe they've captured them. That's a fact. Swing. Ugh. All right, let me see. I'm trying to see if it's from somebody else. A lot of times people would be from the chat. Oops. All right. But yeah, Julia just told me too, she had to run. She got some important things she got to do too. She wanted to just stop and say hello to everybody, which is great. Gotta love it. Even though she's busy, she's still on the run. Still likes to stop in and say hello to everybody, even if it's for a short time. So she had to run. She had to jump out of it. I don't blame her. You know, sometimes you just gotta get things done, and you know, you gotta run. Sometimes you're just so laid back. You're like, hell, I'll just chill. You know, I'll just stay here. So yeah. Mike Gustafson, son. Have a good weekend, people. Take care and stay safe. You do the same, Mick. Glad you stopped in. Appreciate you being here, man. Okay. Oh, okay. Oops. I hate it when that happens. Gotta love it. Got a new phone, and it's like, if you guys ever got a new phone, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, you gotta transfer everything over, you gotta get everything, all your apps working back again. But not bad, though. CJ Arnold, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Oh, is that the one you're talking about? Maybe you're talking about Dune. It was 3 hours. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. It was 3 hours, you're right. And I was literally, like I said, I even told you guys, I was like this. I was like, yeah, let's watch this. And all of a sudden, I kept falling asleep. I don't know what it was. I think the original Dune was actually better. You know, when it had, was a Sting in there. Which wasn't a bad movie. It just was so drawn out. And I like anything sci-fi, but that one there, phew. Now, John Carter was good. That was a good movie. And it wasn't 4,000 years long. Long Island, New York is a Moonfall. It's all about NASA lying and covering up the fact that the moon is artificial. An Apollo mission was censored to hide this fact. Very interesting and incorporates real UFO history. Yeah, it does. I like it. That's what I like. It's like, and when you watch it, it all comes clear. It's like everything that's ever been said about the moon has been thrown into this movie. I think it's a really good movie. Mars Leak says, I found that symmetric piping part interesting. Thought at first was a glitch, but it isn't. It is the frame inside the mass cam and the arm. It just goes on and on. Yep. That's a fact. Alusta says, I am dedicated to the world of cinema, and Moonfall says more things than ordinary people can hear in the movie. I love the idea of AI and the hollow moon. Yes, and the fact that it's a machine. When you see inside it, when they're actually in there, that's cool. Because you can actually see the wall of it and everything. That's pretty cool. Mike taking off? Let's see. All right, Mike Knapp, good seeing you in there. Thanks for your support, brother. Good always to see you in here as always. You have yourself a good weekend, and we'll see you soon there, right? James Cragen, thank you very much for your support as well as always. Always a supporter of the channel. Many of you guys are, which is awesome. You said yourself, man, they never stop going up. Yeah, exactly. And I'll continue to say that, James, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't believe, like I said, once you start going to do these particular things, you know what's going to change? You're going to do it more technologically, and you're going to do it faster. Nothing's going to stop you from going. You're just going to, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to go, let's say we built it and we're going to the moon. Well, how about if we can get to the moon quicker? We can make trips back and forth quicker. We can do that. Okay, so you get all the information you need off the moon. What's next? So you never really stop going out, you know what I mean? Once you go to the moon, you bounce from there, you go to the Mars. Then you go from Mars, then you go to there. Then you go to, and if you can build something that's can get there within, you know, hours as opposed to months or years, a whole lot better. And that's what's awesome. Renee V says, the biggest channel on the YouTube, but now also on Discord. LOL, we crushed them all. We got one channel that rules them all. Kyle Harvey says, I love you guys. Oh, you guys are the best, man. I'm telling you, I just, like I said, it's cool. I was thinking I was going to go to the mall. Like I said, I was going to get the, because I just got this phone here. And I said, I need to get a case. That's when the wife popped in. She said, oh, I'm going to go to the mall. I'm like, well, I'm going to be on here with these guys. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. It's Friday evening. I'm going to be on with these guys. I can go some other time. I want to get a case for it and some of the accessories or whatever, but that's fine. I said, I don't have a problem with that. I said, nope, we're on a Friday evening. It's where I spend my time. I'm not sure. Enrico, you said, did the old Star Trek have an episode of Hollow Moon? I don't know if it was the moon. I know there's a couple of planets that had that. Remember that old rock creature? It was a hollow planet. They were well inside the planet. Had that rock creature that would literally melt itself through walls and stuff. CG Arnold, he said, kudos to you from all your South Aussie fans. They live. I appreciate it, CJ. That's awesome. Miss Hurd, you taking off. You said, goodbye, everyone. Nice to see and chat with you. Be safe. Much love. All right there, Miss Hurd. Good to see you in there. As always, be safe. I hope you're healthy and staying well. And it's good to see you in there, as always. Always a supporter of the channel as well. Appreciate you being here. And we'll see you soon there, right? What is it? Yeah, we're going to be getting close to jumping off there, too. Because I do have to run and get a couple of things done myself. However, like I said, I didn't want to just miss this evening. I like the idea of spending time with everybody here. I said that stuff can wait. I don't care about that. But yeah, as always, folks, it's always a good evening spending time with you guys. I want to thank everybody, as always, for the support and the super chat and everything else. And like I said, all kind of support is good support. It's not just about the money, but it does help the channel, right? But you know, I'm just glad to have everybody here. Like I said, I could have said, you know, I could just run and just take off. I don't want to. I'm so used to being here Friday with all you folks that I love being here and I like spending time with you. But now we got like a Discord. If you need, I don't know if I still get the link here. If it's, let me see. Nope, that's not the same one. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. I'll leave the Discord link again if I can find the darn thing. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Copy. Okay. I'll leave this one in here. Once again, guys can check it out. There's that's a Discord link. If you want to jump in there, sign up for it, you can do that. And like I said, it'd be great to have everybody in there. We'll start building that up, and we'll try to do some maybe some live feeds on there once a week or whatever we can do, and put some pictures up there people can chat about, and we'll kick it off there, right? So I'm going to let everybody go. Good to have everybody in here, as always. You guys are awesome. Much love to all of you. It wouldn't be a Friday evening without you folks. And it's kind of cool. I don't know about you, because I know some of you, Matthew Luce, appreciate you, man. That's cool. Well, flying potato. But I do appreciate you, man. I do, what did it say? Oh, okay. You know, so the way this thing jumped on me, I've seen marks at the same time, the one above yours, and it kind of like messed me up. So I thought you had something written in there, but I appreciate your support, man. Much love to you, man. I love the, oh, I love some of these cartoon stuff. It's pretty funny. Mark Daniel says, hit the like button, everyone. Yeah, hit it if you haven't. Greatly appreciated. You guys are awesome. And let me see. Let me go up here a little bit. It did jump on me here. Oh, okay. Mark Daniel saying, thank you, truckers. Oh, yeah. Oh, it might have been. Just reading this, a couple of these last ones. Too fast, TJM. You said, I believe the Star Trek episode was The Devil in the Dark. Okay, I think I know which one you're talking about now. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool ones that they had, like deep inner planet ones and stuff like that. And really, really good. So, yeah, you try to think back because you get confused with the new ones now, and you got to think of back old school kind of thing. That's what I grew up with, right? But James, again, thank you very much too, sir. You said great hangout again tonight and great comments, man. Oh yeah, yeah, that's awesome. But I do appreciate you all. I really do, and I mean that. I mean, you know, it's just the great support, the great people we have on this channel. And like I said, if you can, anytime you get a chance, if you're up on Twitter or whatever, you want to share the links, share it. It gets the channel more, you know, more people get to see it. And like I said, now we're going to expand a little bit more and go on Discord, or Discord, depending on how you want to pronounce it. But so expand a little bit, get some more interaction. You can spend more time during the week as well. And it's not just completely towards on a Friday too. So everybody can actually have more conversation, and we can all jump in there and have a good time. So we'll be checking that out and make sure everything works out right first, and then we'll get it kicked off more and more. So anyway, I'm going to let everybody go. I hope everybody stays safe, stay healthy of all things. Just because you got the shot doesn't mean you're completely exempt from it. So just be careful, stay safe, have a great weekend, and try not to freeze. And well, not now. It's still 60 degrees here Fahrenheit, so not bad. But this weekend's going to go all crapski, so what are you going to do? But anyway, much love to everybody. Thank you for the continued support. You guys are awesome. Be safe, like I said. Love one another. We'll see you soon. Peace. We'll let you guys ride it to, let's call it, what, 40? We'll wait until about 50, 6:50 p.m. Eastern time, my time. So you figure another, what, 11 minutes. So everybody, again, much love. We'll see you soon.